Can you hear me?
This is. I can.
Yeah, I think we're live there now. I think
we're live.
We are live.
I hear the countdown really worked again, didn't it? Hey, I'm sure that countdown was put on there to remind me of. Well, hello everybody. At last, we've just been actually drunk because we've been laughing too much. So there's that. Right, let's get me thing back here. I hope this computer doesn't play up. Right, I'm getting the comments back right. So anyway, hello everybody. Welcome along to Mondo Chelovek and Euphoria Pictures. How are you doing, Keith?
I'm doing great, John, and thank you so much for having me. It's been a long time.
I couldn't believe how long it's been, actually. 17 and a half months when you think 22nd of January.
Since we've done a stream on your side, we done the last stream we done together. I think was it October, probably.
It was January 2022.
Oh, January. Oh, wow. Okay. Right. It's been a while anyway.
I think we've done one on yours, yeah. So,
okay.
Yeah. So anyway, we've got a few. We haven't got any rules tonight, but we've got a little bit of a rule, and I think that the rule is going to be that we're going to do 3 hours, 3 hours tops, and we're going to be gone. Now, the reason behind that is because I feel that we're both going to be working tomorrow, so we don't want to kill ourselves for that. And also, if we do a few more of these 3 hour ones, we can do more down the line.
Absolutely.
So that's the idea behind it, and we'll try and get through as many comments if we can, and we'll do we'll answer as many as we can, but we'll try and go through them more than like answering stuff, but not answering everyone and then running out of time. That's the hope. He said, we've always got plans, haven't we, Keith? And it always go crazy when you get on here and you just think, you get talking, and before you know it, 3 hours have gone. You thought, hang on, I've only answered one question. But anyway,
it's depending on the question. But we spoke about it before. Sorry, John. I think there's a bit of a delay between me and you.
Yeah, I'm getting that myself. I mean, how are you? Can you hear me at this point?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you fine. There seems to be a bit of a delay.
Right. It's. I'm just looking at me. I've got a thing at the top that tells you that you're online, sort of thing, and it says how the strength of your signal is, and it seems to be strong, and then it seems to go off a little bit. Then it seems to. Is it all right at the moment?
Perfect.
Is it all right? Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
So it seems when the thing goes off, it works better.
Right.
Hey, this is great, isn't it? Let's have all the technical difficulties in the world thrown at us. We'll spend 3 hours trying to get it to work.
So I think there's around maybe like a 2 second delay between us.
Okay, right. So we'll try and navigate that one. It'd be like that when they do a call to the other side of the world, and that the person's like waiting for ages for the person to end. But what I'll do is as well when we're going through them, I'll put up some ones to, when people say hello and stuff, we can just sort of do a bit of thumbs up and all that, and then we'll get through. It's like quite well. So appreciate everybody coming along tonight, and the response has been great actually to do this and to be like kind of vanishing from live streams for quite a while.
Yeah,
and turning up again. It seems like no one's forgot.
Hey, Pete.
Hey, Pete, you all right? And Andy before, and Cheekster.
Cheekster, how things been?
Yeah, doing all right actually. Hey, are you warm over there, Keith? Because it's boiling over here.
Oh, I'm telling you, I have the door open here beside me. The fan is on standby in case I need it. So hopefully I won't.
Yeah.
And it's okay at the moment. It's
Gary.
Yeah, it's not too bad at the moment. Hey, Brandon.
All right, Brandon. All right.
And we got Gary as well, yeah. Hey, Gary, how's things, mate?
So what's in store for tonight? Well, actually, it's just going to be a kind of getting back into the swing of this, I think, for both of us. I want to see if we can test the waters, how to do these smaller streams and make them a bit more bite-size, for want of a better word. I mean, I like doing the long stream, sometimes hard to do, and then be able to sort of to live the next day. I don't know about you. It's a young man's game.
No, we've spoken about it before, John. It is. It takes a lot out of you. It's just it's. People might think, how can it be as draining as we make it out to be? But trust me when I say it is. Particularly if it goes on for 5-6 hours, it just knocks the shit out of you.
Yeah, there was times when it's good to do them. It's good to say you've done them, but when it's the aftermath, I think that
absolutely.
I think that's your problem area. But anyway, we'll just hopefully just go and power through them. And
sounds great when you just say that, doesn't it? But then you've got
to actually do it.
Absolutely, that's the thing. I'm sure it would be fine.
Yes, actually, look at this. This is I think there's a bit of a lag on when I'm doing the stuff. Gongshi says, hello from Taiwan, everyone.
Wow. That's definitely a first.
But I didn't know he's from Taiwan, so that's brilliant.
No.
So we've got Scottish Geek Guy. Howdy, folks.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, mate. How's things?
Turn the Blue Iris. Hello. And Lenny Nero.
Hey, Lenny.
Right, Lenny. All right, Si.
Hey, Si. Sophie.
Sophie.
Hey, Sophie.
Hello, I'd tell you what. Yeah, I know. I'm glad I did my hair for it. And Gary says Halloween was the last stream you legends did together. Well, it must have been Halloween last year on your channel, Keith, I think.
Yeah, I did. Sorry, John, I'm drawing a blank here. Did we do a stream together on Pete though? Pete stream. We did.
We might have done. There. It's funny because I keep meaning to write all these down. I've got a little bit of a ledger of what you did, but you just don't do it, do you?
I think we done one together this year on Pete's stream. As far as I remember, I think we did. I'm kind of drawing a little kind of blank on it.
It sounds like we did. I'm sure we did.
Yeah, I'm sure we did.
Didn't we?
But I think that definitely the last stream that we done together on my channel was the Halloween one. Gary's absolutely right.
Bran, hard to believe but it is. No, so Scottish Geek Guy says 3 hours.
Actually, I don't know if you've seen his video, but he done an incredible boxing of a Jurassic Park collection. I think is it the original Jurassic Park trilogy.
Right.
I've never seen a set like it. It was absolutely extraordinary. If you have a chance to check it out, unbelievable.
No, I'll have to look at that one. I haven't seen that one. I'll definitely check that one out. And Source says, wish me luck, guys. I have a job interview tomorrow. Yeah, all the best on that, Soph.
Absolutely, Sophie.
Goes really well.
All the best.
Right, I'm just looking through for people saying hello.
Okay. Yeah.
When I'm clicking on it, it's taking ages to go on the screen. I hope it's not
really
lagging for anything.
Yeah.
You can tell I'm a bit rusty at this, can't you?
Look, it's like you said, it's been a while. It is.
Right, Martin McBurney. Right, Martin. Oops, what's happened there? And that's I don't know if my connection's not too good. At the minute. Actually, I'm on my old laptop, and I don't know if that's got anything to do with it. You know what I mean? It's my screen's not going off. It's all right. I don't know why it started working, but it has. But I don't know what the internet connection is like. Although nothing's changed on it, as far as I know.
Right.
That's Martin. All right, Martin.
Hey, Martin,
we've got a question here from Scottish Geek Guy. They had a good question on the Empire podcast this week and last week. Which director won the 80s, 90s, noughties, 10s, one director per decade? Is that who won it, or what would that be?
One 80s, 90s, one director per decade. So it's a different decade, a different director per decade. Is he actually asking us who ours would be, or is he actually?
If it's who won best, is it best director? It just says who won the. Actually, who won the? Was it the Empire? I'm not too sure about that.
80s,
you might
90s.
have to clarify that one.
Well, if I was to say 80s, my God, Steven Spielberg must be in there. He must have been in with a shout. E.T., Indiana Jones, he had to have been in there.
90s, I'm thinking the bloke who did Seven. What was he called again?
David Fincher. David Fincher.
He used to do a lot of stuff, didn't he?
Yeah. Tarantino would have had a few in the 90s as well.
I'm wondering that I'm very poor when it comes to who won what.
Yeah, I'm no good at either. I'm no good at
actually. Honest.
It's actually it'd be a lot easier to answer the earlier ones than the later ones. I
Yes.
definitely know who's in the running for them, but the later ones now, that'd be a bit tougher.
Got True Action started deals. You all right, mate?
Right, man, how things?
There's Gordon Dryden.
Hey, Gordon, how are you?
All right. Gary Lynch.
We got Gary. Hey, Gary.
All right, mate. Have to do with the various after-school club runs, but I'll have you guys on audio mode. All right.
Oh, nice. That's great. Fantastic. Thank you so much for that.
So you pretend to be doing all that stuff and be really interested in school if you listen to this. Don't start laughing in the appropriate places.
Yeah.
Yes. That's the stuff behind you. I mean, that's a great view of your room. I know I've got my rooms down here because if I sat on for 3 hours on my stool, I wouldn't be able to walk. That's why I've got my nice comfy chair. But I haven't got anything to do at the minute apart from the plants.
It's all about comfort. There's no, that's. I knew that was always going to be my backdrop for YouTube, so it's never going to change. It'll always be there.
Yeah. Do you ever feel like moving your chairs and showing off another part of your room on another angle? Or you're just not going to do that? No,
if I move the chair, I'll be bringing it far too close to the television in front of me. I would be, I couldn't do it. And not only that, but moving these chairs, believe it or not, they're quite heavy, and they're sitting on top of a rug, and trying to move them, it can be a bit awkward sometimes, and that's so. Yeah, I would never move it.
Not worth it then, eh?
Not worth it. You can see that's the better half anyway. What to see there, the bottom half is good, but that's better.
You put the better stuff at the top.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's not just for my YouTube channel. That's just for me as well. Yeah. Because when I come in here, like I said, the chairs are still blocking it, blocking my view of it. So I only just want to put the best up top,
No. Because I used to put my good stuff at the top of mine, but obviously the weight of them start to pull the shelves off the wall, so I had to put them at the bottom. Which is, I know it's good that I saw what's happening rather than it just happened. I come home from work and I'm all on the floor. That would have been a catastrophe. The whole lot would have been mangled.
Absolutely.
So, thank God that never happened. Craig Steelyard. Good evening, John and Keith. How are you with this wonderful evening? Warm, actually, I can say.
I'm good at the moment. I'm actually good. I think if it hasn't got hot now, I don't think it's going to. I think I should be okay.
I could do opening that door. I don't know if I've got the key for it. That's a problem.
Ellen said to me,
for the key for 3 hours.
Ellen said she's going to keep an eye out. So she said if I start sliding down the chair, so if you actually see the top of my head, she'll ring an ambulance.
That's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
She's got a bucket of water for you. So Sai says, who's looking forward to Indy 5? I'm not. What's your views on Indy 5, Keith?
I was absolutely devastated when I heard the reviews were coming out that the movie was poor. I think, realistically, I think they should have left it at 3 at The Last Crusade with them riding into the sunset. It was a beautiful ending. But unfortunately, they did make Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, which I don't hate. I don't hate the movie, but it's just it's nothing near as good as the original 3. But because that movie kind of leaves a sour taste in my mouth, everyone wants that 5th movie. They want that movie that we were hoping we would get that would kind of be similar to the original 3, but it was just never going to happen. But having said that, I did hear that the ending of the movie is actually supposed to be very beautiful. So we'll have to wait and see. I'm looking forward to it.
I would like them to sort of put a bit of a closure on it, like I say, a bit of a, not a full stop, but have a bit of an arc, funny enough, and just make it.
I know what I want to see, and I know what I don't want to see from the movie. You know, I did hear that the apparently the de-aging on Harrison Ford in the movie. Yeah. You know, when you look at the trailers, it actually looks quite good. But I think I read somewhere that as soon as he starts speaking, all of a sudden the illusion breaks. You can clearly see it's real bad CGI. So look, I'll have to wait and see. You know yourself, John, when these early reviews come out, it's just people just being negative for the sake of being negative. So yeah, I'll see. Look, I've done a video there a couple of weeks back about that movie 65 and how much I loved it, and that movie got pulverized by the critics. So yeah, each to their own.
That's it. I try not to look at reviews, actually. If I haven't seen a movie, I don't go near any reviews or spoilers or anything. Hardly look at any trailers, but I have seen the trailer for that. It looked okay, the trailer. Yeah. But the first 3 for me, especially the third one, were the ones, and it would have been great to finish it then. But maybe they've had to do 5 to sort of put the right 4 and put it round. But maybe if they can't do a good job on it, it just shows that 4 and 5 should have been just left to one side. And maybe a gap of this length. And obviously someone like Harrison Ford, the Indiana Jones character, should not be really portrayed old and not able to do the stuff that he's doing.
Well, like I said, if this is anything to go by, if Harrison Ford can't sell an Indiana Jones movie, then no one else is going to. So there's no point even trying. But look, I'm optimistic. I really am. It's not going to be a bad movie. I know I'm going to like it. It's a question of how much I'm going to enjoy it.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Yeah. I think I'm in that camp to say it'll be what it is, and I won't hate it, but it can't really be what the first 3 are.
No, never was going to be.
But then again, if you're not judging it to be like that, then you're not going to be like, if you think, oh, this is going to be the new, better than the first one, you're heading for a fall, aren't you? And you're not going to do that. I mean, I don't think anyone would.
Absolutely. Like it's a rarity. You know what I mean? Like Top Gun Maverick done it. Maverick done it. Maybe Blade Runner as well.
Yes.
But I can't think of many more. I can't. So I don't think this one's going to be like that either, unfortunately. But look, we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah. You're right. So Brand says it's still a year away, but I'm already counting down to the Giallo themed podcast we'll be doing, you and I together. I am both super nervous and also oddly excited. Yeah, it's always doing your first live streams. It's not easy. It's not easy, the thought of doing it and being on for the first 10 or 15 minutes. But after that, it's not a thing, is it? It's just the initial sort of doing it. And,
yeah, we were there. We were there for each other.
Yeah, and I mean, I was nearly going to ditch it on my first one, and then when we got into the second one, you were equally thinking, "This is it. I can't do it." No, you've got to. And then 10 minutes in, it's no problem, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's just like it'll be just like any kind of other, video call that we do.
Yeah, it is. I mean, actually, we set this up yesterday, didn't we, just to see if it worked. So we could have done the stream last night because we're on for about 2 hours, weren't we? Actually, we're probably on longer, and then we'll be on tonight.
Probably on.
So actually, this is a good one from Gary. Hey guys, do you think you'll be able to do another Halloween special this year? Last year was the best. Oh, wow, you were much in demand. Well, thanks very much for that. I'll pass you over to Keith because Keith was filling on the details.
Yeah, so me and John spoke last night. We this thing with the streams with me and John, we said it from the get-go that we didn't want to bloat them too much. We didn't want to we didn't want to be doing one every couple of weeks, because we want to keep things fresh. We want to keep, everything, every time we go on, we have something new to talk about. So when John invited me to do this stream, and it's been a while since we've done one together on John's channel, so I kind of said to John last night, I was like, you know what, seeming we're at the end of June, maybe our next stream together will be, we'll save it for October, and we'll do another Halloween special. So that is the plan. We're hoping to do the exact same thing we done as we done last year, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we can get it, because we were very happy last year how close we got it to Halloween. I think it was the day before, wasn't it?
Something like that. Yeah, it was. It was really close.
Yeah, it was very close. So hopefully we can do something similar. So yes, Gary, it's that's definitely going to happen.
Yeah, and I think to be honest, it's kind of like a no-brainer to do that one, isn't it? Because it's something that we're keen as mustard on, the whole Halloween thing, the whole thing of Halloween, but the movies, everything about it is a great talking point, I feel.
Well, I think I remember the two of us saying at the time as well how because we went into the stream thinking that look, it's going to be all about horror, but again, you can only talk about so much horror if the people that are watching it allows you to do so, because if the questions change, then naturally you're going to try and answer any questions that come on. But thankfully, that stream, every single question that night was horror. We never broke away from horror. It was incredible.
Yeah, that was really good. So yes, so the answer to that is yes. It's going to be good. Yeah. So, and he says 3 hours isn't small, you guys. It's very long already. People do these for 1 hour, 2 hours max. Well, it's funny because it's when you say 3 hours isn't a long time, you'd be surprised at like from our ends, from our point of view, when you're talking. I mean, we talked last night for a couple of hours, and it was literally like being talking for 10 minutes, and it flies by. It's a weird sort of time thing, isn't it? It's on this side of the camera. You think, my God, is that the time? And you realize you've been doing it for hours and hours.
Absolutely.
Usually when someone says we've been doing it for 6 hours, you're joking, aren't you? So to actually do it for an hour is a bit of an art form, actually.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll tell you who was really good at doing a short stream is AP Stevens. He really put a lot of stuff into his small streams.
Wow.
He's got a really good way of like putting this stuff on and like carrying it through.
Wow.
I don't know how he does it, actually.
Right.
Well, yes, we do a small one.
Yeah. Well, we said it before. Those streams that we've done that were near 5 hours, 6 hours long, and it felt like it was 10 minutes. It was just over so quickly. So 3 hours is going to be. I just know when it's over tonight, it's going to be ridiculous how quickly it's going to go by.
I know, but I hope that we can do it. Answer as much as we can, and also so it means that we know we've got work tomorrow, but we're not going to be dead for it. So we could maybe do this more often, not every week, but
absolutely,
do it more regularly, like not every 18 months.
Yeah, absolutely.
Here's Martin. Evening, chaps. Good to see the dream team together again. Thanks a lot, Martin.
I don't know if I dream about it now, Martin.
So Luke's Films Unboxings. Luke says, is there a favourite Titans of Cult edition you have in your collection? I'll leave you to do that, Keith, because I've only got the one. It's Clockwork Orange and it's absolutely brilliant, but I've only got the one.
That's tough. I have to admit, I'm a big fan of the editions that they've done where you got the kind of miniature steelbook with it. So I probably would lean towards Mad Max Fury Road. I don't know why. I think Titans of the Cult missed a trick with that. because they always issued a pin, you know, with every one of their releases. But with Mad Max and V for Vendetta, you know, you got this miniature little steelbook, and the pins were inside the steelbook. And I think they missed a trick with that. I think they should have done it for every single release. You know, put the pins inside this miniature steelbook. It would have been incredible. It would have been. So yeah, I think either Mad Max or V for Vendetta. It'll be between them two.
Yeah, it's a shame that when you, as a collector, if you've noticed that somebody's done really well, and then they don't carry it on, or they just put it on intermittently, you think, wow, you know, it's a shame that
you can't really ask a collector, we're thinking about doing this, what do you think? And maybe you could have a say in it.
Well, they obviously have been listening, because they're massively changing things up now. Their packaging is going to be all different from now on. It's going to, from the looks of things, it's going to be very similar to the Film Vault series. That's the way they're going.
Oh yeah,
yeah. There's actually a trailer out. Yeah. I don't know. Sorry, I don't know about the size. Sorry, but they definitely do look like the Film Vault series. There's actually a small trailer out. You can actually check it out.
I think I'll do that now.
Yeah.
Spectrum Kid says, hello there. Have you seen the Salem's Lot box sets? I haven't.
I've seen that price. I've seen that price as well.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that you know about this, John. I think I've spoken to you about it before. I'm almost certain it's the Sign Museum are bringing out a release of Salem's Lot, and I won't deal with that company. I won't.
Yes.
I think they're a horrible company. This thing, I've said it before in so many videos. These companies taking money out of your account and then having you wait there for nearly a year and a half to actually, you know, it's lunacy. You're funding their projects, and that's basically what it is. So I actually ordered the Creepshow edition from Sign Museum, and I cancelled it because I was made aware of what this company is like, and by cancelling it, they had the audacity to penalize me €15 for cancelling the item. So I lost €15.
That's travesty. That.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
It's important you pay for it.
I was going to fight it, but I said, you know what, I'm not going to bother. For the sake of €15, I'm not going to bother. So I said from there on I would never buy directly from them again. Now I might be wrong. I'm almost certain that is what the Salem's Lot box is. I'm nearly sure it's the Sign Museum release. But having said that, they do look beautiful. They really do.
Would you get it on the second-hand market, for instance?
Yeah, I might consider that.
Yeah, and then you're not dealing straight with them.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But I haven't actually seen it.
Yeah.
Sophie says, Jason the Darling bought me the out-of-print premium collection of Little Shop of Horrors as a surprise. Don't know what I do to deserve him. I didn't know that was out of print, actually. I used to see it all the time. I like Little Shop of Horrors. But I'd, you walk past something loads of times and you think, I'll do it next week. And then lo and behold, if it is out of print, he's a good lad.
He is, absolutely. Is that I presume that premium collection is the HMV ones, isn't it?
Yes, the ones with the silver top.
Yeah, okay.
I think they're done with them now, though. I think once they're done, they're done. I don't think they're going to make any more, unfortunately.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which is a bit of a shame. I don't know what. I hope they ended on a proper number like 150 or 200, not
Absolutely.
like 171 or something. That would twist me, Melon.
Has 88 Films stopped at 50 with that slasher collection?
At the moment, yes, and I would like them to just do that because it's a good line. I love it, but to me the Italian collection's taken over from it, and a few of the movies that they've got in there could have been slasher ones. So I just think they can, stop that now and concentrate on the Italian ones. Because I don't know what else would put in it, if I'm honest.
Absolutely.
So Brand says, also, does anyone collect Steelbook editions? My collection has grown over the previous 3 years. Well, I don't collect Steelbooks, but I'm more willing to accept them now when I've received those amazing hard plastic covers from Dave Ramsden, and when I put them in there, they look brilliant. So I wouldn't say no to them now. So what's your view on Steelbooks? Would you say if a edition came out as a kind of nice regular or a decent Steelbook, would you always go with Steelbook?
I will always pick the Steelbook over the standard, regardless of what movie it is. If it's a movie that I want to own, I will always pick the Steelbook over the standard. Now, if it's a collector's edition, that might be different. But 9 out of 10 times, look, you get a Steelbook with the collector's edition anyway. I tend to go for the Steelbook editions. But I've been very disciplined with Steelbooks. You know, there's a few movies out there now that I haven't seen yet because I'm waiting for them to come down. Black Panther, the second Black Panther, the last Ant-Man movie, Knock in the Cabin. They all come out in Steelbook 4K, and I'm just waiting to get them at a good price before picking them up because Steelbooks are expensive. But if you're picking up Steelbook editions to movies that you do want to see, but chances are they might not be great movies, I tend to wait.
Well, that's sensible, isn't it? Because you could really kill yourself for these Steelbooks. You'd be massively out of pocket, and you might get some movies where you think, "What on earth did I buy that for?" So yeah. I think sometimes I would rather. Well, I tend to go for ones with Steelbook that are actually only available on Steelbook, like Reservoir Dogs, for instance. You've got to, I was sitting on the fence with that one for a long time, thinking it would come out with a standard release, but it hasn't. But I'm not bothered because the Steelbook's that nice.
Absolutely.
I've got it protected now.
Absolutely.
So I've got Sam Glendinning
Hey,
here.
Sam, how are you?
All right, Sam.
I was actually asked Sam. I went to HMV
this morning and asked Sam if he wanted to meet up, but he was busy with another thing. So he said, "I'll meet you sometime else." So we'll get that arranged. And it's great to meet Sam. Actually, I had a great time. And we'll have to get some video the next time, Sam.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So then he says Keith's video looks better. Like me and my mic, I think, goes out somewhere every now and again, like from close by to upper corner of the room. Don't know if you're listening to that on the surround sound by the sounds of it.
Yeah, I don't know that
I've got the feeling I've got the doors open there, which is to the next room where the actual router is. I've got a feeling that I just think that this, for some reason, this isn't as good as it used to be, like seen on the internet, possibly, or maybe it's just the weather. You always seem to blame the weather, don't you, when these things happen? It's the heat.
Absolutely. So
Craig says, Keith, when you did a video of some Blu-rays with the worst DNR in your collection, I would also add GoldenEye to the list. The characters look really waxy.
GoldenEye? Did GoldenEye come out in 4K?
I don't know.
Jesus, that's a first for me. I didn't actually realize it came out. We are talking about James Bond GoldenEye. Jesus, did that come out in 4K? Yeah. That's actually a first for me, Craig. I honestly didn't know that movie came out in 4K. I'm actually a big fan of it. So you've actually saved me a couple of quid there, because if I did come across it, chances are I would have picked it up. Yeah, that's a good one. Now, I honestly did not know that.
Well, it's good to hear things like that, because I mean, I enjoy your video of what was the one that you put out recently? You said it was the John Wick box set. The looks, when you hold it up, you think, like, that lovely. Because when you first put it on, I thought, that's a nice addition. And then when you went into it, I thought, oh dear me. As soon as you opened the box and I saw the inside, I thought, no chance.
To make that John Wick edition that little bit worse, over where you are in England, HMV done an exclusive collector's edition box set similar to that one. Better artwork in my eyes, as well, if I'm completely honest. But if you actually watch that video when I opened the map of Paris, apparently the HMV one done something similar. You do have that Paris map, but you can also see the silhouette of John Wick's face kind of put into the background of it. It looked incredible. Yeah. So that really did seal it for me. I was like, you know what? Like, I was going to get rid of it anyway, but now I can't wait to get it out of this house and get that Steelbook that you got for me.
Yes, it's currently actually. Speaking of that, I was going to tell you before I come online, but I can tell you here. I've got obviously it's all boxed up the centre here, and the stuff that I've got there. I've got a good box as well. Actually,
Right.
it's your box that you sent me previously. Your stuff fits in perfectly to it. All your packaging is all there, so it's all it's going to be good because it's all your own stuff. But I've got something in there. I'm going to have to keep it back for a couple of days because I've got something that I've got, and I talked to loads of people about with the sending Mondo Chelovac CDs and that, and I haven't got around to it yet. But I've got a stash up there waiting to get sent. Now, I've got something coming that I'm going to be putting into the people's stuff that I send them. You'll know what it is when you see it. So I thought I want to wait that couple of days until you get this thing.
Okay.
There you go.
I'm intrigued.
You'd probably be so disappointed when you see it, but never mind. Well,
seriously, you could send me a roll of toilet roll and we'll still be happy.
Well, actually, speaking
of toilet roll, you'll have Mondo Chelovac toilet roll.
There you go.
Brandon says, "What disappointing blues or 4K restorations I'll have to go back and enjoy. I enjoyed GoldenEye, but I also remember my Blu-ray box set of Bonds having varying quality. Yeah, I think that the Bonds have never been all looking great. When I've looked at some of them look excellent, and some look a bit, yeah.
Yeah,
Do you think they're going to get 4K treatment soon, Keith? Do you think they're going to be 4K soon?
Which ones?
The James Bond stuff. Do you think they're going to get a good 4K?
Oh, well, I was just going to say, I've only got one of them, and it was Casino Royale, and as far as I remember, that looked pretty poor. I think Daniel Craig's movies have gotten a bad showing on 4K, but I'm kind of sitting here, and I'm actually amazed that GoldenEye, I swear to God, I am normally on top of my 4K releases. I cannot believe GoldenEye has come out. I had no idea.
Well, you'll not be getting it though, will you?
No, I won't. I definitely won't be getting it. But like, yeah, fingers crossed for the likes of the Sean Connery movies and the Roger Moore movies sometime in the future. You already look amazing on Blu-ray. I can imagine what they look like on 4K.
If they're done well, they look really nice. I think they look brilliant. The Roger Moore ones look quite good on Blu-ray.
Yeah, absolutely.
I remember. Martin says, Mr. G got us free opening day tickets for India was 5. Will you guys be seeing it? We were talking about that. I don't think I'll see it at the pictures. Would you see it at the cinema?
Yeah. Yeah,
you will.
Yeah.
Because Deborah likes it enough, and we've got a couple of tickets coming, just like free tickets you get with your mortgage. Every year we'll get them, and every year at the end of the year, we're always rushing to get rid of them before they go out with thingy for the next ones. Right. So in that predicament. But I think we'll go. She went to go and see what's it called, The Flash with Matthew the other day, and they both thought it was pretty good, but there was not issues with it, but it wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be. That was their viewpoints on it.
The movie's in serious trouble. It had an absolute shocking weekend opener in the box office.
Did it?
Yeah, 55 million. Apparently, there was a huge. I don't necessarily agree with this, but there was a huge boycott to avoid the movie because of the main star of the movie. But I think sometimes people forget. There's hundreds of other actors in these movies. Hundreds of people making these movies, and one person, shouldn't spoil it for everybody. So the only thing I will say about the Flash movie is everyone was talking about Michael Keaton. Everyone seemed to be genuinely excited to see Michael Keaton back as Batman. I haven't heard a single thing about Michael Keaton in that movie. I haven't heard whether he's good, whether he's bad. I heard nothing.
And it's I haven't actively looked for any of them, but when I'm watching it, I'm thinking, well, I should have heard even somebody going, "Oh, Michael Keaton," and I could put it off. Yeah, I haven't really heard anything. I did say to Matthew, I said, "Did you feel like you got everything you were expecting?" He said, "Sort of," but he wasn't, because I says, "Is it anything like Spider-Man: Far From Home, the pinnacle for these type of movies?" He says, "Nah, has not a patch on that."
Yeah, I kind of figured.
He touched, actually. No, I tend to agree with him.
Yeah,
that gave you everything, didn't it?
Absolutely.
I apart from a slipcover.
You never bought it, did you?
No.
No.
Actually, I was saying that, but I can buy it now because I can go and get my slipcover from James. I can do that, and I have thought about that. If I see it really cheap, I'll get it and get the slipcover from James because I know it'll be just as good on the shelves as a regular one, if not better.
Absolutely.
But the thought of them doing that, actually, I'm not saying that, but maybe I won't, because on Sky Movies they're showing the full cut of it with the extra bits in it.
Yeah. Okay.
So where is that in the 4K realm? It's got to come out sometime. So maybe I'll just hang on and see what happens with that.
You know
that's not. I'll go back.
Yeah, there'll be some sort of kind of Spider-Man connected movie coming out from Marvel in the next year or two, and that's probably when they'll drop that director's cut out.
Yeah,
or extended cut.
I'm sitting on the fence actually. Brandon says, Gordon, I also feel it was the last truly great Bond film as well, flaws and all.
I wouldn't necessarily agree with that. No, I thought Casino Royale was probably my last great Bond movie. I liked Daniel Craig as James Bond. I just wasn't crazy about his movies. If that makes any sense.
Casino Royale.
Yeah, I love it.
It's the thing that got me back into Bond because I just ditched it for a long time. And I thought that I was expecting more of his other films are good, but they're not a patch on Casino Royale, unfortunately.
No.
And it's a shame.
Would you believe me if I told you I haven't seen the last one?
I was thinking that before. I knew you hadn't seen it. I was going to say to you, have you seen it yet? You haven't.
No.
I think you will enjoy that one. That's his best one apart from Casino Royale for me.
Okay. I'm just like yourself, John. I don't hate them, but I would never turn around and say, "Oh, that was great. That was a truly great Bond movie." Where Casino Royale now, I really did enjoy it. But GoldenEye is fantastic, and that's definitely Pierce Brosnan's best Bond movie.
I see Pierce Brosnan and also what's he called? Timothy Dalton. I never watched them. I just didn't like. I didn't like to look at them.
Okay.
And just having it, I was a little bit wrong, probably, but it was for the fact of big fan of Roger Moore, and anything after that I just didn't care for.
Lost. Yeah, that's fair enough. I understand that.
So this is a good one. Tom says, even Tom, great to see you together. What's the difference of you and your partners together one day?
I've said it to numerous people. I've said it on numerous streams that if there was ever one person that I would like to meet, it would be yourself. So it'll be an absolute shame if it never happened. So I'm hoping it will.
I'm sure it will. There's got to be somewhere where we'll pass across, and maybe I'm going to go across the island one time, probably Dublin.
Absolutely.
And hook up then. There's got to be a time because Deborah's been to Dublin before a couple of years ago. I've never been, and it's always been something on the list of things to do, place to go. Yeah. So yourself, you may go down to London one day, and we might be able to swing by. So
absolutely. I'm not. I would never say no because it would be an absolute shame to say that. Because I wanted to.
I'm not going to say no to that one. I'm going to say that it will happen. It's just a question of when.
When. That's exactly it.
And Marty, even guys, good luck with the stream. Yeah, it was a few problems I would think this morning to start off with is just with the fact of the connection's not that great. I hope it's getting a little bit better now.
Well, I think I might discover something that's going on with you in terms of the audio. Your audio seems to cut out when you're pressing your keyboard.
All right, when I press the actually maybe one of them. I'll do that now. Is it cutting out now?
No, it's fine. But it seems every time you are pressing something, the audio seems slightly cut.
What about now? Is that different? I'm gonna. No.
I don't know. I really don't know.
I know. Ken Sparnan says, "Great to see you. This stream is my first with you two together." Oh wow!
Wow.
Two of my favourites, and one a fellow Northeasterner too. Well, there you go. Love Keith's collection. Absolutely jaw-dropping, yes. Buzzing to see how this goes. Well, hopefully, audio problems permitting, it'll be all right. We don't want to do we're talking about at the start of the stream, we're going to have to do a whole lot with sign language, to get it across.
But But
Lucas Toast Movie. Hello, guys. Lucas.
Look, how are you, man?
So I hope you guys are doing well.
Doing great, man. Doing great.
So Brand says Keith always praises me on his posts. Really it is nothing, and I adore his content. Keith is just a great lad, a wonderful, warm-hearted fellow cinema lover. Exactly.
Yeah, I praise every single body that comments on my videos. My God, if yous are not watching them, then I wouldn't be doing them. Simple as. And the least I can do is show my appreciation for you to take the time out of your day to actually stop by it. So so thank yous.
Well, speaking of comments, I'm massively behind on mine. Do you find that sometimes you get behind on your comments, Keith, and it's hard to keep on top of them?
It happened with me the John Wick video. I put that video out thinking, I'm sure it'll be okay. It won't be too bad. And I stayed on top of the comments the whole night. I was actually in my bed, lying in bed. I had my laptop, my tablet in front of me, and I got through every single comment come 12:30, and I was like, brilliant, great. And then I got up at 7 a.m, and there must have been another 30, and I was like, oh, that never happens. So I don't know what happened with that video. It just seemed to have people just seem to really left a lot of comments on that one. I think people like to be told when they're being screwed over on certain editions like that, and I'm more than happy to kind of take the bullet on it. When I say take the bullet, I took the bullet, but the bullet's going right back to Amazon. So
yeah.
So
I think it's always good to get a heads up off somebody. And,
absolutely.
Especially of someone like yourself, because I trust your opinion. If you say a movie's decent wise, I know that it would be the same as my point of view on that movie. And if you think that an edition isn't that good, I would think, I'll stay away from that. And I don't know if I would have got that one, because all my other ones are just normal slipcovers. So John Wick 4 will always be a normal slipcover to keep uniformity. But if I had got them all on the big boxes, I might have been tempted at that one, because to look at it, it looks good. But obviously, when you showed it all, I went, no, these ones. It's actually what was good on that video was when you had sort of got something else out for the same price, the 55 quid, 50 quid, and showed what you got in that compared to that John Wick 4. It's was like that 4 should have been 22 quid tops.
Well, like I said to you, I think you've seen the video on when I took out the Annabelle Comes Home edition.
Oh yeah.
Like 55 and 50 for the John Wick edition. And if you check out the Annabelle thing, the presentation on that is absolutely insane. It's on another level. And to be €5 dearer than that John Wick edition, they shouldn't happen. It shouldn't happen.
No, but when you put that together, there was no argument to your case. You rested well on that argument.
And rest assured, there wasn't any argument, so which is always good.
So I'll tell you what, Keith, I'm just going to nip the toilet if you don't mind.
Yeah, I'm going to get a drink anyway.
Movies. And have you guys seen One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest? So I'll leave you with that one, Keith, and I'll just be back.
Well,
I'm going to the Cuckoo's Nest now.
That's what I'm saying. I'm actually just heading there a second, so we can come back and answer it together.
All right.
Now, to answer the question, yes, I have seen the movie. I have not seen it in years. I actually don't even remember the movie that well. I don't even know if I have it on Blu-ray. Well, I have don't. Do I own the movie? No, I don't even own the movie on Blu-ray. And I think what I'm doing with that movie, I do want to revisit because it's an absolute classic. But it's such a big movie, and I'm sure it's only a matter of time before it gets a 4K release, and that's what I'm holding off for to see that movie again on 4K. So no, I have seen it, but like I said, I cannot remember the movie, but I know he is absolutely sensational in the movie. I do remember that.
The cast is amazing in that film, isn't it?
And like I said, I was just saying, I've seen it years ago, John. I can't remember.
It's a funny one that's never got a 4K because you think it would be one of the first ones.
I only just said it. I said I actually want to revisit the movie, but I'm holding off because it's such a massive movie that you know as well as I do. It's only a matter of time. It's only a question of when.
It is. I've only got it on DVD actually, and I was thinking about it the other day, but I don't think I would watch it until I got a 4K of it. The thing that got me about that when I first watched it was, when you see people like I didn't know who Brad Dourif was at the time, and I actually honestly thought, as well as Danny DeVito, did not even look anything like Danny DeVito, and I thought. I honestly thought, especially Brad Dourif, I thought he was somebody who was like a proper inmate, and they got like sort of real people from like asylum, because they were that convincing, weren't they?
Absolutely. Really you can't think of a better actor than Brad Dourif to get in there. Like, he just comes across as an absolute lunatic anyway. Yeah. So it made perfect sense to have him in there.
Yeah, totally. But yes, 4K, that one. That would be a good one. People say, what's your one you want in 4K? Well, I would say that one.
There you go.
And you've got a media collection, of course, you have. So it says, if I get a job, I can plan some trips to come and see you guys. Yes, please do.
You're always welcome, Sophie.
Yeah, we talked about it a few times. That says, if you come up here with Jason, I'll take you around and show you what the tune has to offer. And I'll tell you all the sort of Geordie-isms. I'll have to, it's quite a lot to see around here.
And if you ever come over here with Deborah, I can take you around all of Navan, which should take around 5 minutes. And rest assured, when you're done, you'll probably never come back again. There definitely won't be any shopping involved, I can tell you.
Oh, right, okay. Well, that's a good postcard for Navan then.
Lovely place to visit for 5 minutes.
Right. Well, we'll stay longer than 5 minutes if you don't mind. In the pod, if you keep the door open, we'll be in the pod all night.
There we go. Happy days.
So Geek Guy says, which director you think had the best decade? Spielberg won the 80s, Tarantino in the 90s.
Yeah.
One as in who had the best decade.
Yeah. So I did say Spielberg and Tarantino, funny enough.
Actually, looking back on it, Spielberg definitely for the 80s. Someone, Robert Zemeckis, you could probably put in there as a little bit. John does so many. John Hughes. Yes, I was just going to say John Hughes.
Yeah.
He defined the 80s for like teen culture.
Absolutely. You could. Wow, there's so many. Joe Dante, Joel Schumacher. Just so many great directors. And that. Directors are gone for me nowadays. All the upcoming directors, I don't really know them because they never seem to be around for long.
I think the only one that's sort of doing anything spectacular is Christopher Nolan.
Absolutely.
Also, that the fellow who did Blade Runner. What's he called again?
Villeneuve or Villen.
Yeah.
French.
Yeah. He's got a good eye for directing.
Absolutely. And then you got the likes of that fella, what's his name? Even though I'm not a fan, if I'm being completely honest, the Midsommar.
Ari Aster.
Yeah. Even though I heard his last movie is supposed to be an absolute shit fest of a movie. Apparently, it makes absolute. And actually, tell you the truth, it sounds like something that you might watch, you might enjoy, because I know you like them kind of out there kind of movies. This one is supposed to be out there, So
well, never say never. I did like Hereditary. That was good.
Yeah, great. I love that movie.
Yeah. Midsummer was okay, but I don't know how many times you can watch that. I thought the director's cut was a bit.
I didn't see the director's cut to it. That was one of them movies. Once was enough.
Comments went a little bit all over the place, as you do. So when you touch these things, go whoop, like that. Do you think? So Lenny says, how do you both enjoy these new movies from stunt guys turned directors, as in Stalski's Wick series and Hargrave's Extraction 1 and 2? They're a fresh air, methinks. Actually, I agree with you, definitely on John Wick. I haven't seen Extraction 1 and 2.
No.
I did see there was a 4 Extraction 2, so I thought I'll have to see Extraction 1. Yeah, I do think they're okay.
Well, yeah, because let's face it, with these action movies, they're made up of, it's the action sequences that makes these movies great. So when you have a stuntman, an ex-stuntman directing these things, you're going to get something quite special in terms of action. Yeah. So yeah. I think it's a great thing. I haven't seen Extraction 1 and 2, and I'm going to just tell you, the short of it is, I don't support streaming in any way, shape, or form. So chances are I'll never watch them, unless they start turning the tide on these streaming services to give us what we want. Like I don't care what anyone says, but damn it, let's say the first Extraction movie came out years ago. I can't imagine that movie has any kind of pull over anybody now coming over to Netflix. Send it out on physical media and give it to the people that want it.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, all right, keep it there when it's kind of going to get people into. Absolutely. Fair enough. Well, like I say, when it's been out for ages and nobody really cares about it anymore. To be honest, I never even heard about it till I saw this thing for Extraction 2.
Mm-hmm.
This thing, put it out to get themselves a couple of quid out of it, and people can actually get their physical media out of it if they want.
Yeah.
I know sometimes they seem to like keep these things for themselves, as if they're saying, we've got them, you can't have them mentality. So, actually, there's Bogey Cat Productions, Mikey. All right.
Hey, Mikey.
Hey, guys. We both hope you are doing well. Now, I'm glad Mikey's on here because I've got a load of vinyl down here. And I was looking through them the other day thinking, what they're doing down there. But I promised this to Mikey. I looked and goes, I can't believe I still got this. I promised this to Mikey on a stream, the Evil Dead 4 from the Misfits as a live concert. And I told him the quality of it is absolutely awful. But it's a rare bootleg. So it's one of the, I don't think it's the last gig they did, but it's one of the last gigs they ever did. I think it's not a coloured vinyl, I don't think. No, it's black vinyl. So I said I would send it to him. Of course, I haven't. So just, if you're still here, Mikey, this is definitely coming to you. I'm keeping it out, actually. So there's that.
Wow.
Well, it was because it's Evil Dead.
Yeah.
I don't know why they put the Evil Dead 4 in it. It makes no sense at all. But I said, it's something, he hasn't got it anyway. So I said, something to go for you. Yep, I can't believe there's something in Evil Dead he hasn't got, even though it's nothing to do with it. So I thought I'll give that.
I said it to so many people with Michael's collection of Evil Dead. Even to this day, I'm still looking at the pictures that he sent me.
I know.
I've never seen anything like it. I would do anything to see that man start a YouTube channel. I would do it. That room alone would keep him going for years. It's just incredible. Never seen anything like it.
Yeah, even the smallest thing he's got is amazing.
It's just ridiculous. Like I said, when I'm watching the photos, I can see like keys, and I was like, "What the hell's the keys?" It's insane. The level of detail is just incredible. I've never seen, and not even his Evil Dead collection, but I'll tell you one thing: he has a remarkable arcade collection as well. Did you see all the arcade movies? Yeah, unbelievable.
He's got them, some great, the stand-up ones, the proper full-size ones. Yeah. And
going to that man's house would be like going to Disneyland for me. I'm not kidding you. I would have a great time there.
It would be great.
Yeah.
You would probably spend your whole, if you went there for a week, you would spend the week in that house, just looking at what he's got.
Absolutely.
So if you're still here, Mikey, anyway, I'll get in touch and say, look, I've got that for you. So sorry about the massive wait, but I will put your little thing inside your thing so you've scored with that. You probably think, you couldn't have waited 7 months for that. So Lucas says, have you seen The Godfather 1 and 2, Taxi Driver, Goodfellas? Yeah. All amazing.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the Godfather movies. Taxi Driver, Goodfellas, unbelievable. Even though I did say, I'm not going to lie, I done a video there recently on Casino, and I did say in that video that I prefer Casino over Goodfellas. Now, not taking anything away from Goodfellas, it's an incredible movie. But I always found with Goodfellas, I don't know how you feel about this, John, but the last third of that movie, you know, when it's right after Joe Pesci gets what happened to Joe Pesci in that. Right after that, you know, where your radio is kind of big into the drugs, like, you know, he's bad into drugs and he thinks choppers are chasing him. I just found that segment of the movie, it's not bad. It just doesn't live up to the first two thirds of that movie.
I totally agree with you. Yeah, I do think that it tails off at that point. It's you think it's got a huge running time, so you think, well, judging on the first 2/3 of the movie, you think, oh, this is brilliant. I don't mind it, but it does start to drag. And one of the best things I thought about that movie was, and I wasn't expecting it at all, especially for the time frame it was. At the end of the movie, I'll not say what the end of the movie is, but then of course what they do, they put My Way from Sid Vicious on it.
Yeah,
I just thought, you're putting Sid on there. It should have been Sonora, but I thought it's a touch of genius, that like.
Absolutely.
But I think
Godfather 1 and 2 are all right, but I can't watch them a lot. I appreciate them, but I wouldn't say I would watch them every year. It would have to be every 5-6 years.
Yeah.
You know, they're really good. And when I watched 2 recently, about 2 years ago, and I thought it was really good. But I'm not in a rush to get back to it. And I don't think I'll go to 3. I've seen it once and I didn't really care for it.
Yeah, there's a reason why he didn't mention 3 in the comment.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So Andy Like Stuff says, hi lads, what film are you looking forward to seeing this year?
Indiana Jones was highly up there until I started hearing the reviews on it. But like I said, I never listened to them anyway. But look, I'm still hoping that it will be quite a special movie. I don't go to the cinema that much. It takes a very, very special movie to get me out there. So I'm trying to think what else in terms of the summer. The big summer movies, I don't think I'm going to see any of them other than Indiana Jones. I'm not going to see Flash. I'm not going to see that Transformers movie either. You know, Fast and the Furious, the last Fast and Furious, none of them movies. They don't really interest me. They're just they have to stop making them. The Fast and Furious, Transformers movies, they're done now. Move on to do something else.
Fast X is on Sky Movies now. You've got to pay for it. It shows how quick it's come on there. I thought you're joking. I don't think it's finished at the cinema yet, or maybe it just finished last week. Wow.
You can clearly see it now at the box office. That Fast and Furious, that franchise is falling, and it's falling hard. It is. Yeah. Like 350 million budget on that last movie. Would you do me a goddamn favor? What bloody world are we living on when you're making movies for 350 million? Crazy. And that movie, it'll probably have to grow close to 1 million just to break even.
I know.
Or close to 1 billion, sorry, just to break even. It's lunacy. It's lunacy.
It isn't. Plus, as well, if he's wanting to get these other 2 on the go, and if this one's bombs completely and they lose loads of money, he'd never finish off the supposed next 2, would he?
Yeah.
Which is stupid having this one in 3 parts. Just make 13 movies and just call them Fast 11, Fast 12, Fast 13, whatever. Yeah. Just be done. Or 12 movies.
Actually, Dead Reckoning, Mission Impossible. That's one I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, definitely.
Tom Cruise is on a great run at the moment, so hopefully he'll continue with that.
Yes. I'm looking forward to the Meg 2. Actually, we saw that at cinema when it first came out. Well, the Meg, really enjoyed it, and it is what it is. But I don't mind that. I like it to be a bit daft and a bit over the top. So I'm looking forward to that one.
I would have said there was 2 horror movies that came to mind. If you said it to me a couple of months ago, I'd be like, "Oh yeah, I'm definitely going to see both of these." But now I've changed my mind massively on them. The Exorcist sequel, because apparently that got a showing. It got a screen tester, and it was supposed to be absolutely deplorable. God. David Gordon Green, I had a lot of faith on him. When I seen the first Halloween movie that he done, Halloween Kills, even though I didn't particularly like it when it first came out, it massively grew on me. But to see what he done with Halloween Ends, I've lost all faith as him as a director. So, look, we'll have to wait and see. Exorcist would have been high up there. Salem's Lot, the remake as well. To see James Wan behind that movie, and that's a mess of a movie. We don't even know, because I don't think Warner Brothers are releasing it now. I think they're trying to sell it to somebody.
Really?
So when you hear that happening, it must be a very bad movie. So
that's not going to bode well with it.
No. Having said that, John, Warner Brothers did this before with Trick or Treat, where they refused to give it a cinema run, and look what happened with that movie. They must be absolutely kicking themselves, because it's probably regarded as probably one of the great Halloween movies since Halloween, and that So, see, hope, fingers crossed. You just don't know.
You're right about that.
Mm-hmm.
Rand says Tarantino's a master cinema, so I'm not surprised he won the 90s. Though Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is probably my favourite of his, or runner-up. I love the production design of that film. Yeah, it did. I think when I was talking about it on my videos, his ranking I just didn't expect it to be what it was. I thought from the trailer, and what I thought it was going to do, and like the true story of the Charles Manson thing, and it didn't really. It told us his version of what he would want it to be. But looking back on it, I think that's good. But at the time, I thought I'm so confused about this film. But I'm dying to get to look at it again and see if it goes higher up, because it was quite low. Was it at the bottom? It might have been.
Yeah, well, you described it as a comedy, and funny enough, when I watched it, it felt like I was watching Tarantino's first ever comedy. It felt like a comedy. And there was 1 or 2 scenes in it. Okay, there was some brutal scenes in it. But look, just check out the scene with Bruce Lee in it and Brad Pitt. It's bloody hilarious. It is. Even though I'm not I as you know yourself, John, I'm not a Bruce Lee fan myself. But man that they got in there to do Bruce Lee, he was absolutely astonishing. He was very convincing.
Obviously, without going in often too much of a tangent, there's a lot of Bruce Lee exploitation of Bruce Lee, like copycats back in the day, and some of them were the spitting image of him. Some of them look really like him, but they couldn't really do his martial arts, and vice versa. Some were great martial artists, but they're nothing like him. But these days on Ip Man 4, there's a Bruce Lee lookalike on there, and he's pretty good actually. And he's got the mannerisms. I think that sometimes if they over egg it, it seems like a sort of a bit of a pastiche of Bruce Lee. It's a hard one to nail, if I'm honest. A hard character to nail, because you can really do him a disservice if you just go wrong with it. But the one in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I thought was really good actually.
Yeah.
Great to see him in there. You thought, oh, Bruce Lee. They should do that actually.
So Tom says,
Keith, what are you most proud of, your busts or your movie collection? If you had to choose keeping your bust or movies, which would you keep? Oh, tough one.
It depends on what we're talking about in terms of movie collection. So would my Film Arena editions be counted in that?
Well, let's say it's just the things behind you, the busts, but something that's like a head or a
right. Then I would choose my movie collection.
Would you?
Yeah, really? Because I would give away Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Because I'm looking at my Film Arena editions, my one-click editions of Film Arena. I love them. I do.
Yeah.
And when I'm sitting in this room, I do tend to stare up at them more than what's behind me, if that makes
Right.
any sense.
Yeah.
Of course, not the same, but like it's not just the bus behind me, but like the puppet master set there. That's just it's just incredible. There's so much stuff, like I said, down under all of that. Like my lovely Dune edition that I'm sure you remember it, that I picked
Oh
up from
yeah.
Germany. That's all
That was
there. Actually, you can actually sort of see it just there in the bottom corner, where
right.
my thumb is there, right there. So that's all down at the bottom. But yeah, I can't answer that question. I don't know. It's too hard.
Well, it's Sophie's choice, isn't it? You think that I'm glad we don't have to make those decisions. Actually,
absolutely.
So Gary says, "You're absolutely right, Keith. Each to their own. If you like the movie, great. If not, well, I'm sorry for that."
Yeah.
All right. Jigster says, in my opinion, they should have made these Indiana Jones movies decades ago. Yeah, I do agree with that. They've left the gap a bit for long, actually.
That's the one thing about the new Indiana Jones movie that I do like, because they actually are addressing his age in the movie.
All right.
You know what I mean? It's not like we're not going to be watching Indiana Jones kind of like he's going to be limited to what he can do in this movie. I know they massively address it in this movie, and that's apparently what drew Harrison Ford to the movie, is the fact that they are addressing his age.
Well, yeah, that's fair enough.
Mm.
Well, I kind of had to, really, didn't it?
Yeah, well, yeah. I don't think you get away with it.
I imagine he comes and says, "Hello, I'm 52 and can't walk." So Stuart says, "Can't make a live chat. Got better things to do. Lol. No, busy today. No problem, Stuart."
No problem at all.
And Lucas says, "Do you have Letterboxd, John?" I do, but I don't actually use it at all. I can't even remember if I put anything on it. So God knows what it is. The name on it, I haven't got a clue. So no, I don't think I wouldn't even close that and do another one, because I haven't got the time to do one. So I don't think I'll ever do that one. Well, not any time in the future. What about you, Keith?
No, I don't even know what it is.
I think it's a thing where you can put, say, for instance, you put a thing on, say, Facebook, you're friends with somebody, and you can put something on there and say, "Oh, I watched Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I give it 5, or I thought it was rubbish, or I thought it was brilliant," and then everyone can see what you put on.
I actually have an app on my phone. I don't use it though. It was meant to be my way of keeping up with what I've watched, and I keep forgetting to add the movies into it. It's.
I've got a thing on the phone, and I put it in there, and that's that's how I know what I've watched.
Oh,
so that's
wow!
All the ones I've watched for this year. I've got them from the last 5 years in my phone, believe it or not. So
wow!
So I can tell you what I watched this day last year if I want to.
But, sorry, Lucas, I don't think that'll be.
So for me, it's just time, isn't it?
No, of course.
Right, it's a good one. So, true action star of the deals. What are some films that get you emotional, be it the ending or the tone?
One movie, believe it or not, and people will be surprised by this. It gets me that bad that I actually can't watch it. It leaves me in a terrible way after it. And again, it's nothing too drastic. It's Starman, John Carpenter's Starman.
Oh, I remember you saying that.
The last time I watched it was 7 years ago. I finished watching it at around midnight. I was that upset by it. I don't know what it was. It just has this weird lasting impression on me. The score, anyone that's seen the movie, the beautiful music that's playing at the end of that movie, it destroys me. I don't know why. I'm sure it's something that stems back from my childhood when I first seen this movie, but for the life of me, I can't remember it. And I don't know. I don't know. Is it one of those things that I'm watching this movie and I'm almost afraid that it might dig up what is bothering me about it? You know what I mean? But the last time I watched it, like I said, I knocked it off at midnight. I was lying there. I was massively upset. I actually ended up having to wake Ellen up, and I had to get Ellen. Kind of woke up and she started talking to me, and she kept talking to me till she actually got me tired. She did, believe it or not. That's how. Yeah, I'm not kidding you. That I do not know. I'd love to sit here and tell you why, because it's no different than E.T., the ending of the movie, you know. But there's something about that movie that I just stay the hell away from it because it just leaves a real bad impression on me.
Wow.
Yeah, strange.
I've seen about 15 minutes of it and I couldn't get away with it. You know, his weird way that he talks and stuff. It just got me. So I'll give mine to John Clancy actually.
Oh yeah. Wow. You should have just checked out the ending just to see.
Well, I'm dying to do that now, but I haven't got it. But if I ever come across it, I'll watch it. But I hope it doesn't affect me like it affected you.
No, I know people will be looking at the stream now and kind of going, Starman, really? I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, it's one of their movies. What about you, John?
Well, obviously it's Elephant Man.
Yeah.
Gets us every time. I went through a period where when I first saw it, I wasn't bothered by it that way. Then I got a period where I was quite bothered by it, and then I kind of wasn't for a long time. But recently, when I started watching it again on the 4K and that, every single time, gets us in about 3 or 4 places, and I love it. I'm going to be watching it soon as well because when I watch Eraserhead, then obviously Elephant Man's next when I'm watching David Lynch. So it's on the cards to be on the next couple of weeks, and I know exactly what's going to happen with it, but it's what it is. You can't take. And also as well, one that really got me was Elvis. That movie.
Now that's something entirely different altogether.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Elvis, Deborah. You're going to be watching that, aren't you? No. There's the Debs. No, she's not. She says, "Oh no." I rushed to Keith.
What's that?
I blame Deborah for that one.
Oh, what, the Elvis one?
No, I'm saying I blame her for that dropout.
Oh, right. Sorry. Oh, yeah. It's always Deborah's fault.
Yeah, Elvis. It was the ending. I didn't think. Have you seen? Oh, you've seen the Elvis. Yeah. Elvis. Just the way that it was done, I was like, wow, I was not expecting that at all. But great.
Like, bear in mind as well, like, it's not everything has to be, like, I'm very emotional when watching movies, and it doesn't always have to be sad to get me, you know. I actually I watched The Abyss, believe it or not.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a scene in there where Ed Harris is trying to resuscitate Johann Mary Elizabeth, and his acting is so extraordinary that it just you find yourself welling up just listening to him. And if you actually watch the scene, you can see that all the actors that surrounded him, they're just standing there looking at him, and they're not acting; they're just looking at him acting. They're at Ed Harris during that scene. So yeah, it's not always, you know, it can be just dramatic, and that will get me.
Yeah.
That, you know, so
yeah, you're right. That is a good scene, man. That I tell you what, you remember that now. He was really some stellar acting there, and he was like the way he was going on, blubbering.
Yeah.
It was like completely 100% real, didn't it?
Absolutely. Oh, incredible! What a talent he is.
Yeah, he is, man. Chixa says, why they waited so long is beyond me. Harrison Ford is just too old to be playing this character now, age 80. I do sort of...
I don't know, John. I don't know about you, but I can look past age. Age is only a number.
It is, but kind of Woody Allen stopped. He was always the lead man. Well, I'd say lead man, but he was always like a buffoon, actually. But he was the main character. And I think he obviously had to stop it because his age was just ridiculous for the roles that were obviously the person who was coming in to take his part, whether it be, I'm trying to think who it was, Sean Penn or John Cusack, who were playing like a Woody Allen character. They were like doing a Woody Allen impersonation, actually. But it got to the point where it was just wrong, so he stopped doing it. And when he comes in the movie now, very occasionally, you play an age-appropriate role.
Mm.
You know, so, and he's got to be 85 or something now.
Like, I can't see Tom Cruise ever turn around someday and saying, you know what, I'm done with the stunts. You know, that man's going to be doing them in his 80s. I can see him.
The thing about Tom Cruise, he looks 20.
Yeah, he's the gift. There's no question about it.
You're right.
Yeah.
Mind you, when I was watching Eyes Wide Shut the other day, he looked about 15. Honestly, it's nuts.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Yeah. So, Traction Star of the Deal says, what's your favourite Daria Nicolodi film? And she is the girl who was in Deep Red. You know, the actress who was in Deep Red. She was also in, what was the other one that she was in? Really good. Tenebrae.
Is she the main woman in that movie?
Yes. The one who was married to Dario Argento, his wife.
Right. Well, I'm going to leave that to you, John, because we said last night, if any Giallo movies got mentioned, that's your territory.
Well, I've said them really. It's Deep Red and Tenebrae. Everything I've seen her in, she's been good. She's good in what's the other one? She's good in it. It's opera. I think it's opera. She's good in that one as well. In fact, she's a great actress, and sadly, she's no longer with us.
No, sorry, I have to ask you a question now because you brought the opera up. Now, I haven't seen it. Now, I enjoy Deep Red. Tenebrae is phenomenal. Where does opera lie amongst them movies? Because but the Koch Films have brought out a beautiful release of it on 4K, and I am very, very tempted to pick it up. Is it
have you seen the film Stage Fright?
Yes.
It's kind of like Stage Fright.
Okay.
In a way, really good. I think it's his last good looking film. You know how Suspiria, the visuals and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Opera for me, I think it's 1989. It's his last one that looks like a really good Dario Argento film. So I'd recommend that. I would get it in 4K, no problem.
Wow. Okay.
That's great film.
I might take a gamble on it.
I think you'll like it.
Right. Okay. No, it's just did you see my Cyborg edition that I showed?
No, I didn't see that one.
Yeah, well,
I haven't seen the video for it.
Yeah, it's the exact same as Cyborg. It's that edition. It comes in this like quite a thick box. It's a lovely hard box. It's beautiful. So I think I'll take a gamble on it.
I think I might do that myself. I didn't even know that thing existed, but
I'll send you a picture. I'll send you a picture after the stream.
Oh yeah, definitely. I've got it on Blu-ray. The Blu-ray looks quite good actually. But you know that the other thing is with Arrow and stuff like that, they have done opera before on DVD, and maybe they didn't do it on. I don't think they did it on Blu-ray. But to me, they've got to do someone's got to do a 4K in the UK of it. Because it's the last great one. It's begging for it.
Okay.
I mean, they did Trauma in America, which is a couple of movies after that. That should be the next one after that. Trauma is a good movie.
Okay.
Daria Nicolodi's in that one, I believe.
Oh,
well, I think.
Wow.
Right, so I don't know how far we're behind the comments, but let's have a look here. I'm trying to.
Well, I tell you what I can see right now. I can see 132 comments. That's the number at the moment.
Okay, right. Well, I don't think we've done 132 yet. So we'll go through. We'll try to go through. I mean, we've done 1 hour 23 minutes, and we'll try and get through it a little bit more. If the ones we've already answered or we've spoken about, and if people are talking to each other, we'll try and maybe skip a couple. We'll get some like standalone. Do that.
Absolutely.
We're doing and make sure that
we'll talk to people more if we can do that. But it's going to be a tough one with it. The 3 hours one is going to be hard to keep up.
Yeah, of course.
But
we knew that though.
Try for that one. Yeah, I know. Right. Lots of people talking about Indiana Jones 5. And so Southend-on-Sea Art says, getting concerned about Scream Shout Factory 4Ks looking. They've done it on people under the stairs, worried it might extend to the 4 remaining Chucky films on 4K. Or 4K locking, sorry.
Yeah.
Have you familiar with Keith? I haven't heard about
Yeah,
that, which isn't nice.
I know somebody actually bought it. Well, he doesn't have a region-free player, I might add. He didn't know. And I'm not kidding you, John. He was texting me for the last couple of weeks saying, I can't. It's one of his favorite movies. And he was so excited to see the movie on 4K. So you can imagine how devastated he was to realize that I was actually region locked.
Wow.
This better not start. This better not start. I'm almost certain somebody did say that. I don't know if it's rights issues or something like that. I don't know, or licensing issues. That's why it's happened for that movie. I'm hoping that's all it is.
Probably is.
So fingers crossed. It's only the one movie.
Yeah, that's really it's. I know they've done it in the past with other titles, but it's very hit. Yeah, not all the time.
No.
But if it becomes a thing, the best thing about 4K is you just get a 4K and you know it's going to play. You don't want to have that whole going back to the multi-regions, and that's not going to be cheap, is it?
No, absolutely not.
So here's a question for you. If you thought that was the way they were going to go and they literally went back to the way it was with Region 1 and Region 2 and all that, would you bite the bullet and get one, the player?
You'd have to.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, because
right.
we'll be missing out on so much. Like, don't get me wrong, John. Like, I'm actually looking at my collection, my Blu-ray and my 4K collection. I don't have loads of movies from America, if I'm completely honest. Like, it's very easy not to buy from Scream Factory because they won't ship you. Very simple. So so the only way I can get them really is from HD Movie Source or CD Wow. So, but then you have to be very selective about what you buy. So so I don't know. I don't know. You know, it's one of those things. I don't think it will ever come to that.
I hope not. And I think if it's only Scream Factory, I can live with that. I don't get much of their stuff, although I do think they do some great versions of things. I'm more about Vinegar Syndrome, actually. If I had to get a 4K from America, that's where I would look to first. I would probably put Scream Factory below them on the movies that I would want to get. The Scream Factory do the better ones, but the more obscure ones I love come from Vinegar Syndrome, so I'm all about them.
Well, I think it's ironic that it just happens to be Scream Factory, the one company in America that won't ship worldwide. So the fact that Vinegar Syndrome do ship worldwide, I don't think it's ever going to be an issue. I don't think they'll ever allow it, because I can imagine the money that they're making from the EU countries alone would be quite amazing. So I don't think they would ever allow it to happen.
Hopefully not.
No.
You don't hear that. I'm like, sorry to hear that, actually, that it's a thing. I thought that was done and dusted a long time ago.
Yeah. Speaking of actually Vinegar Syndrome, I ordered movies off them. It must be nearly a month now, and I still haven't got them dispatched. I don't know what. I know you told me before. They have a reputation of being slow.
Very. I know I was watching a video online, and it was somebody. I don't think it was a UK YouTuber. It was like someone from America, and they were saying they'd ordered something probably in this sale that you've done yours from, and they hadn't got a dispatch notice yet, and they're in America. So
wow. Okay.
You're in for a wait, but you're well worth it when you get your stuff. But
can't wait.
Next day delivery. Wait.
Yeah, we wish.
So Craig says, I really do think the older James Bond movies from the 60s and to the 80s really need a 4K physical release. I agree. In Southend, Nancy Arts says, I cancel my pre-order at Creepshow just in case.
That's heartbreaking to actually read that comment, because that's a movie that I want. That's a movie. I can only imagine how excited he must have been to get it as well. But how can you possibly buy it now if that's what's happening? So he's probably right to cancel it. Just wait and see.
Yeah, it's you're probably better off. The only thing I would say about that, if you got one, you probably would be able to sell it somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely.
You probably wouldn't lose your money, but you more or less want to keep it. You want to watch the film, don't you? Want to have the film rather than A Mind for Movies with Alexander Wayne. Hello, Alex. Are you all right? Hi, lads. Oh, God. Oh, thank God I was getting out my car and saw this on my phone. I would have missed it. Hey, thank God for notification.
Alexander just got a brand new car there recently, and he's absolutely ecstatic about it. It's his first car. Yeah. It is. Yeah. So no surprise to hear that he was only getting out, but I say he's living in that at the moment.
It's always great to get your first car. You just go here and everywhere.
Great feeling.
Gary Lynn says, have either of you purchased any of the Radiance films Blu-rays yet?
No, me, no. John, off you go.
I've got, what have I got? I've got Miami Blues, which is a great film. I love it. And also the one that I'm very interested in is Scream and Scream Again. Great title, great movie. I think it's like, I was actually talking with Ian Hill about this. He's pre-ordered it, and it looks as if it's one of the ones that's like them, the portmanteau films, a bit like Dr. Terrors. I've seen it years ago, and I was saying to Ian Hill, I said, there's a scene in that which really freaked us out at the time, what happens in it. I can't really say it, because it really spoiled the thing of that scene. We got to think I was about 6 when I saw it, on the TV. But I do think it's one of those ones. It's got a great cast in it, really good cast in it. So it's a great film. Scream and Scream Again. So I will definitely get that one. It's a bit like Arrow Academy. If I had to put it, like, mixed with a bit of Criterion. They do some good stuff, like.
Right. Okay. No, it's just nothing's. Nothing come out from them that's kind of interested me. I think if I was to get one now, it would be more of a gamble on a movie than anything else.
And Raised by Me says, The Thing Titans of Cult for me. That was a nice one.
That hands down, probably the best Steelbook they've ever brought out.
Yeah. It was like buried nice. I thought that was a great touch. That.
Yeah.
So Brand says the more I rewatch it after Martin and one of the talking about, I forgot what. Creepshow is my third favorite Romero film, and one of his last truly seminal classics. Yeah, he kind of did go off the boil, didn't he, towards the end?
Yeah. Unfortunately.
And Southend says,
got all the Radiance releases, great label. Now I know that Southend is a big fan of Criterion, and I can see why he would have went for Radiance. They've got a Criterion flip, because Francesco Simeone, who was big in Arrow, he moved away from them. And
That's right.
He was a fellow who was like really into his Criterion-esque titles, and I think he's taken that and that side of things anyway. He's responsible for some really good movies, though. The really good films that went under the label, and he's got a great knowledge for old horror movies and everything. So it's not as if he didn't do anything like that. It's just that he's probably putting out stuff that's a bit more mainstream-ish, or a bit art house at the minute.
Right.
So Brand says, so what is everyone's favorite boutique label that puts out genre films? I would say for me is 88 Films, possibly.
88. It's a hard one. It's a hard one. Wouldn't Second Sight fall under that as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards Second Sight. I feel that every release that they bring out, I'm just blown away by it, regardless of what the movie is. I'm just blown away by the work that they put into, whether it's the transfer, whether it's the packaging, the amount of extras that they get on their releases as well. It's just there's something about Second Sight that I love. They take that time, which I look at the Hitcher. I think everyone knows that the picture is going to be one of the next big releases. I think that got announced. It must be 2 years ago when that got announced, and they are taking their time, and that's why I probably would put them ahead of Arrow Video. Arrow Video are just putting out. Arrow Video gone stale. Arrow Video has gone very stale at the moment.
There were the boys back in the day that had every single thing come up. They were just salivating about. But these days, they kind of took the foot off the gas a minute, and they seem to be coasting a little bit, rehashing certain titles. I would like them to get a little bit back in the front, because I think our 88 puts out more interesting stuff than them at the minute.
Yeah, absolutely.
And definitely Second Sight does.
Absolutely.
I think they do the best ever special editions.
No question about it. I'm actually just looking at all my boutique labels over here, and a Second Sight really do catch my eye.
Great stuff. So Mad Marty says, have you seen the pre-order of the new Film Vault releases? Have you ordered the Jaws set?
I've ordered all 4. I'm so happy that I ordered the Jaws one, because that disappeared very, very quickly. It's gone, and it ain't coming back, I can tell you. I think Shawshank could be gone as well. The last time I checked Amazon, Shawshank, surprisingly, I was very surprised to see Shawshank gone. But
so are you tied into this? Are you tied into this line now?
I'm invested. Yeah. I am invested. I am. They're doing all the right things at the moment. I know people are going to turn around and say, "Oh, they're bringing out movies that we've already got editions for." I don't care. The movies that they're bringing out are great movies, and the great movies deserve this kind of treatment, And to see Shawshank, 2001, Jaws, and Apollo 13 as well, unbelievable. Can't wait. Get my hands on them.
No, that's a fair point. And I think when you're getting into something, especially from day one, and you know how they're going to be so sought after and obviously hard to get, you've got to be, you can't wait, can you? You can't say, I'll get it next month. It's like you've got to just get them straight away.
Tell you the truth, I was convinced for a second there that you were going to turn around and tell me that you bought the Jaws one.
Well, the only thing that puts me off that is, and I have got lots of space on my shelves, but I haven't got space for anything huge. And I wouldn't be able to put it in, like, look at the Godzilla. That's in a cupboard. I get it out from time. Don't get it wrong. Do look through it, but it's not anywhere to be seen. And
I guess that.
Actually, as if it's just been made. It's
just
everything. Right. I would love to have it on the shelves if I could, but I couldn't. So that's the only thing that put me off them. I do. The Jaws one, I just looked at it, but I thought, I've got nowhere to put it. It would just be in the cupboard.
I can clear a space off here behind me if you want, and you can just send it my way.
So you could just, actually, if you do a video, just every now and again, just go back to that so I can look at my version of Jaws on your shelf. And
I'll make sure it's there to be seen all the time.
Yes, that's true. Every now and again, just flick through the book for us. Imagine that. I bought my collection as a Keith's house. But it's a lot. Don't get us wrong. It's a lovely set. If I could have it, it's just space. Unfortunately,
absolutely. I get
that. Gary says, "Is there a story out there that has not been made into a movie yet? You would love to see it made. It can be fiction or a true story. Maybe you guys could give Hollywood some fresh ideas." Well, I think they need it, actually.
Oh God! If I'm being totally honest, now there was a kind of like a TV made movie kind of done for this, but I would love to see a proper biopic on this. I would love to see a movie based on Live Aid. I would absolutely, because I only just watched a documentary called Against All Odds the other night, and some of the things that Bob Geldof done to get that concept made, get that is absolutely shocking. He just wouldn't get away with it today. And I would love to see a movie on it, and I would love to see all of those bits these things that he done be in that movie, because I found them to be bloody hysterical. And I don't know why Live Aid it's a very special concert, and I think it deserves a lot of attention, and I think a movie would be great on it.
That's a really good call, actually. I would never even thought of that, but now we come to say that. Yeah. I'm struggling to think what I would think. I would maybe have I'm trying to think of something that I like in book form that hasn't seen the light of day. It's hard to think. I'll tell you what I would like to see, which has been done a bit, but I never think that they've got I've got the album of this. I haven't got it down there, but I might have the album of it. And I know it off by heart, this album. No, I haven't got it. And I know it's been done in a TV series, which is pretty good. It's been in a movie, which is all right, but I don't think they've nailed it yet to do the definitive version of this in 2 movies. It's The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Ah, right.
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy and Restaurant at the End of the Universe is 2 movies.
Okay.
Properly. I think it would be, because they're so clever. The books are so clever when you watch it. It's just rubbish, but actually makes complete sense when it goes back to the fact that you know that the computer is Earth and that we're just on this Earth thing because I want to get this. They've asked for the question. They got the question 42, the meaning of life. 42, and they've got to build the Earth to tell them what they've got to find out what the question really is.
Right.
You know, they don't understand the answer, so they've got to build something to get the question. So it goes around this huge circle, but it really makes sense at the end of it about the fact that they suss it out as well at the end. But it just always seemed to just not really work in both. But the album was brilliant. You know, the rest of the End of the Universe album, which was the second bit. But anyway,
was the movie bad that came out?
The movie was all right. It was kind of it was a bit sort of like of its time, because it was like the people in the time, Martin Freeman, who was like big at the time, and it was decent, but I just don't think anybody, when you read the book's so good, and the one that came close to it was the second album, The Restaurant and the End of the Universe, and the rest of it was just, I don't know. For me, I would love to see the definitive one of them. It would never get done though, unfortunately, because I don't think anyone would do it. It's too a bit out there, unfortunately. It's a hard question to ask now. Answer that one, Gary.
Unbelievable.
So Alexander says, have either of you seen the Korean film I Saw the Devil? Watched it for the first time 2 weeks ago. Absolutely insane. A 10 out of 10 film. If you haven't seen it, watch it ASAP.
Unbelievable. A friend of mine over here in Ireland, who I got to know through my YouTube channel, sent me a picture of a media book of that movie. And I've never seen the movie, but he turned around and he said, Keith, you need to see this movie. And that's so I definitely need to check this out. I heard of it. I didn't even realize it was a Korean movie, if I'm completely honest. So I definitely need to check that one out.
It's amazing.
Right.
Honestly, I think Jordan Movieworm told me about it and says, you've got to check it out. And the very sort of loose premise is that something happens and it's like a revenge. But there's like a killer, a serial killer. And what happens is that this person gets revenge on the serial killer by making the serial killer's life a misery. And he targets them. Right. But it's just like he's like torturing them for this full movie. But I'm going to I'll tell you what, you've never seen nothing like it. It's absolutely amazing.
Right. I have to get it. I have to get it. I've been. It's there's a lot of signs here now telling me to see this movie, so I need to check it out.
Brilliant. I never heard anybody say a bad thing about it. I was talking to John Hall about it. He said it's one of the best things he's ever seen.
Wow.
It's not martial arts or anything. It's like a sort of cop drama.
Yeah.
But it's really well done.
Okay.
You'll love it.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
By Movies says, have you pre-ordered the next batch of Film Vault movies? Yes. And
Yeah.
glad they haven't raised the price. That's a good thing.
Never days.
So bumpers here. Oh, Craig, even though looking forward to the 88 films release of Untold Story in a few weeks. Yeah, so much. I forgot all about that actually.
I'm actually amazed that he's actually on. Did you see that man's back?
Oh, no.
Jesus Christ!
Because I saw the blister and I couldn't work out where the blister was. When I saw it, was like, well, it's just all back, really, wasn't it? It's like there's blisters like that.
Oh. I can imagine the pain the man must be in. It looked absolutely horrible. I hope he's doing okay.
You went to hospital, didn't you?
Yeah, second-degree burns, he said, or something like that.
I mean, I've been sunburned before and never seen nothing like that with
No.
a huge blister. I mean, it looked like someone poured some boiling oil on him.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It looked like someone just got a blowtorch and just blowtorched the back off him.
He's been in his own horror movie. Wow.
Yeah, absolutely. I know. I hope you're doing well, Bumper. It looked painful.
Getting back to Untold Story was
also. I don't know what it is.
That is a really over the top movie. I'm not going to say it's Serbian film territory, but it's going in. It's not anywhere like that. But it deals with kids. It's a true story actually.
Right.
Yeah, it's not.
So
I'm sure that's fun, man.
John has this knack of you do this thing where when you say that you're basically saying it's a rough one.
I'm sure it's Bun Man. There's two of them that are quite. There's Mr. Something as well. I maybe get them mixed up, but one of them is definitely about this murderer, and I'm sure it's. There's one that's cannibal. One, the two others. Anyway, it's either cannibal or murderer. So
okay,
kids. So wow, but it's a good movie actually, but it's pretty bad.
Okay.
Chickster says, I saw The Devil is indeed insane and I really enjoyed it. I need to check out the Optimum Home Entertainment Blu-ray, which is apparently supposedly superior to some of the other Blu-ray releases. I've heard John Hall say that as well.
Right.
I think it might be longer or a better version, more extras. But yes.
I've definitely heard that before. I'm not too sure what I've got.
But mine might not be the full one or the best one, I think.
Okay.
Brandon's saying, yes, Arrow. I almost forgot. The Giallo box sets at remasters are amazing under the discussed online. Amazing distributors, I agree. Shame on me for leaving them out. There's that many, actually. There only used to be things like Arrow and nothing else, and Criterion. But now look at it. It's everywhere you go. There's a new one popping up.
Yeah.
What's your
favorite remaster, 4K remaster of a seminal classic or cult film classic with a perfect audio and real blemishes on the release?
Wow. Wow. I think the list will be endless. There's just so many of them out there. Dawn of the Dead has to be up there.
Yeah.
The Shining has to be up there.
Yeah. Wow.
Alien. Yeah. Well, no, I won't put Alien in there because Alien's lacking. Actually, now I think of it, The Shining doesn't have an Atmos mix. Neither does Dawn of the Dead. You see, the thing is, people will look at me look at when the fact that there's no Atmos on these movies, but sometimes people have to realize Dawn of the Dead doesn't need Atmos. It's just that you're not going to get a great sense of the higher channels from a movie like Dawn of the Dead or even The Shining for that matter. So when they get 5.1 audios, I'm more than okay with them. My setup in here anyway, I can actually activate the speakers anyway to give an Atmos effect anyway, and it's very convincing at times. But But every time I watch The Shining, even with my speakers activated, there's just nothing there. Simple as. That's why they don't get Atmos mixes, because there's nothing to fill in. So, yeah, I'd probably put Alien in there as well. Perfection in my eyes. There's so many. I don't know about yourself, John. What? Demons as well. Incredible.
Yeah, actually, I would say that. I would say, actually, we were talking about this the other day when we were having a chat, 2001, about the fact there is 0 grain on that movie, yet it's the sharpness is there. I don't know how they've done it.
It happens a lot. A lot of Technicolor movies are done that way as well. Like War of the Worlds.
Yeah, War of the Worlds, 0 grain.
Yeah.
And,
Singing in the Rain.
Ten Commandments is unreal.
Yeah. There's just the list is endless. It's too hard.
Singing in the Rain. That's
unbelievable. Casablanca.
Yes, actually, yeah.
Absolutely incredible. Psycho. It's never ending. It's never ending.
It is like. I think that if you're always sitting on the fence with a 4K, just have a bit of mooch online, go to Blu-ray.com or DVD Compare, and they'll probably tell you there to say it's amazing or don't bother. Because some movies you think, oh, this has got to look good, and it's not. You're kind of shocked by some transfers, whether it be the elements or the fact they've just been lazily done. But do check online or just ask a YouTuber, what do you think?
Absolutely.
Someone will say, don't do it. You know, if it's bad, the word gets around anyway, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Are you listening? So Gary says, thanks for recommending Reservoir Dogs last week, John. No problem. It only took me 31 years, but what a great movie. Yeah, it is an amazing movie.
I haven't seen it.
What?
I haven't seen Reservoir Dogs yet. No.
You're joking me?
Not joking. I've seen Pulp Fiction. I've seen every Tarantino movie but Reservoir Dogs.
Honestly, I thought you were joking there.
No. No.
I'm just gonna have to I know I had this for some reason. Just clean me out of this. Sorry, Keith, I thought you thought Reservoir Dogs, you haven't seen it. What?
No, I'm sorry. I've not seen it.
You need to put that right.
I'm not against it. Put it that way. I just haven't picked it up yet.
Right. Oh, that was shocking. So Bummer says The Chaser is a film worth checking out if you like I Saw the Devil. Midnight is another one. I haven't heard of them two actually.
No, neither did I.
No. Film Arena, nice pieces as well.
Yeah,
movies. Definitely.
I'm gone crazy with them. I've gone absolutely crazy with them.
Well, you know, with your habits or what you like, and if you know there's something they like, it ticks all the boxes for you. You're going to get them all, aren't you?
Oh, like, don't get me wrong. I'm absolutely not picking up any crap movies from Film Arena and I'm definitely not taking gambles because they're so bloody expensive. Yeah. But I have picked up 2 movies. One in particular, I was absolutely ecstatic to get hold of. I'm actually going to be doing a video soon. The Breakfast Club. Oh, yeah. I got a deluxe Film Arena edition of that movie. I had no idea it even existed. And I got a movie that I quite enjoyed, Skyscraper, from Dwayne Johnson. Now, I'm not a big fan of Dwayne Johnson, but I rather enjoyed that movie. And wait to see the edition I have for that movie. Absolutely extraordinary. It is beautiful.
It's a decent film, actually. It's not too
bad. It's a good movie for what it is. And I had a fun time revisiting it. I really enjoyed it.
You're right. Some movies are just there for fun.
Absolutely.
It's actually just there to sort of amuse you, and if they do that, then good.
Yeah, happy days. That's what I've done for me.
Gordon says, guys, what favorite films of you both would you like a sequel made that hasn't had one yet?
That's a question. That is a question. Do you have anything in mind, John?
What about the one they were going to make from James Cameron was going to make Titanic too, wasn't he? Remember that? No, I'm sure that they were going to make another one. Titanic too, or something like that.
Wow.
They can't do anything, really, can they?
Jack is not there.
That's it.
I can't think of. Oh, you see, I don't want to say, like, it'd be so easy for me to say, oh, you know, I'd love to see a sequel to Assault on Precinct 13 because it's a movie I love. But then why would I want to see a sequel to that? Because it's never going to outdo the original. So what's the point? So it's, yeah, I don't know. Does anything come to mind for you?
Well, actually, I was thinking about, it just popped in my head, like, Death Proof. Yes, it does have an ending, but obviously the girls in it, they could continue,
absolutely
in their way. And actually, maybe you couldn't, not with like Pulp Fiction or Reservoir Dogs, but you might do something in that same universe which could tie massively into them two films, because all those other films are all tying into each other. Apart from, well, actually, Kill Bill 3. That's another one he was talking about, but he never actually did. Is he going to do that one?
Well, okay, there is one I can name. Now, and I can name it because apparently it's happening now. The Thing is getting apparently James Cameron and John Carpenter announced it that they're looking to put a sequel together. I've spoken to Gary. Gary was actually the one that let me know about it. Gary over in St. John. And we kind of just spoke about it for a bit, and we were kind of just saying, what do we want from it? Do we want to see them take it away from Antarctica? And if they do so, will they be taking something away from the movie by doing so? You know, and then he kind of made the good point that maybe it can go to a populated area and then maybe go back. Kind of give us a bit of both. And that, But so many questions. Will McCready be in it? Will Kurt Russell be there?
Well, the thing is with the Thing, it can't exist in warm climates, can it?
Well, it can. I think it can. It just happened to crash land in the Antarctic.
All right, I didn't know if it
No, I think it can. But I just think you could be, if you kind of put the Thing in New York City, it's just not going to be a good movie, is it? It's just not going to be good. The atmosphere is what makes the Thing so good, and the setting is a key to that atmosphere. So I don't know. I honestly don't know. I really enjoyed the prequel. I thought it was a great movie. I thought it was a good attempt.
Yeah,
it would have been better if they stuck to the practical, which they promised they were going to do. And that's what they're going to have to do with this sequel, because I can tell you now, the fans are not going to accept it. They're not going to. As soon as if it comes out that there's CGI being used, the fans are going to stay away from the movie. That's an absolute certainty.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, Escape from New York is getting a sequel as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
is that really getting a sequel?
Yes.
I didn't. I never knew that. Wow.
I'm pretty sure that is, and I thought you were going to say that actually with talking about the Thing. I didn't know the Thing, but you knew that, and
I didn't know that.
You didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
Sure.
Right. That's
with Kurt Russell as well. I'm sure he's in it.
Wow.
Even though he could have got his son in that, because his son could actually take him off, couldn't he?
Oh, are you kidding me? Absolutely. Yeah. There was a rumor going around. I remember. I thought it was so. The name of the movie sounded stupid, but I remember when Escape from LA came out, and there was rumblings going around that there was going to be another one, and it was going to be called Escape from Earth. That's and I think it would have been a bit too. It just wouldn't have felt like one of them movies. It would have been a bit too far. So yeah, I'm up for it. If Kurt Russell's back, yeah.
Yeah, pretty sure. And I think Carpenter is as well, as far as I know. So it's going to be,
wow.
the best you can get it, You would imagine.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If that is true, then I'm sure Kurt Russell must be attached to the thing as well.
Somebody could mention in the comments who Ethan is won't say for another 10 hours. We'll get Speaking of which, we've done 2 hours. We're not too bad.
Not too bad.
I think we're an hour and a half behind the comments, but you know, it's not too bad. Actually, I was thinking of another one for a sequel. What I'd like to see is Life. Remember the movie Life?
Oh, with the Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah, and they've got that. What's it, man? They've got all that. They've got that thing like that. It's a bit like the thing in space, isn't it?
Absolutely. A little started with a small parasite, wasn't it? Yeah.
It's just a little thing, and it just is going in the suits and all that. Yeah, it was a good film. It promised a decent sequel, actually, from what happened into it.
Oh, at the end of it, yeah, absolutely.
I don't know if that would be excellent if that happens. So it's setting itself up for it. Will we ever see it? I don't know about that.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah. So Brandon says, I showed my mother Reservoir Dogs 2 weeks ago. I still feel it is a bit overly long and not edited the best of its ability, but it's a great LA shot warm up to Pulp Fiction. I think the movie is him finding his feet in.
Absolutely.
Like the first. If you look at it, you can see it hasn't got the polishedness of Pulp Fiction or the coolness of it, but it's still got a lot to offer. And I think it's a great movie. It's got a few twists and turns as well, which is good. So when you do watch it, you'll be in for a treat.
Oh, absolutely.
Jig says GoldenEye hasn't been released in 4K Blu-ray, on 4K digital only at this moment.
Yeah. I knew it didn't get a physical release. I would have heard of it.
And, imagine that. Brandon said his mother hated the Stuck in the Middle with You dance torture number. Yeah.
Oh, man.
I could imagine.
That's the only scene I know from it.
Yeah, well, it's famous, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's really good, actually. When you hear that song, you always think of that scene. You can't
absolutely
not do it.
Of course.
Gary, the Blu-ray. Hi, Gary. Hi, gents. Great to see you both do another live stream. We'll catch it up on tonight. Are there any upcoming releases that you're looking forward to getting?
Well, yeah. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, everything's going to be okay with it. But The Fifth Element. I think remember the Rambo edition that I got from Xavi?
Yes.
It's everything blue and Xavi. So their second edition is coming at the end of this month. I think I seen the 26th of June for The Fifth Element. So that is, I cannot wait to see it. If it's anything like that Rambo edition, it's actually, going by the pictures, it looks like it's going to exceed that Rambo edition. It looks extraordinary. Oh. So fingers crossed again, because as you know, Xavi doesn't ship worldwide anymore. But for some strange reason, I was able to order The Fifth Element, and I was able to order Leon, which is the third edition that Everything Blue are bringing out. So it's the only movies that I can actually order from Xavi. Everything else has been locked away. I can't order, but I was able to get them. So it's strange, yeah. So The Fifth Element for me. Can't wait.
I was thinking, I had one in my mind there.
Your one came in reality, didn't it, Shorty? It's today, isn't it?
What's that, sorry?
I think you got an edition today that you were very, very excited about.
The one I bought today?
Yeah. I don't want to spoil the video out.
Well, actually, the video is coming out. It's I wasn't going to put one out today because, I was going to put one out, but I couldn't put it at the same time as this. So I've put it out. It's coming on at 10 o'clock, I think, and it's but it's Burial Ground, the 4K, but it's also Tentacles as well. And whenever on my video, you don't see it because I cut it out, but I was laughing when I was talking about Tentacles because sounds like someone else, doesn't it? And I was thinking to myself, I'm going to say it. I know I'm going to say it, but then I didn't. But then I started singing, Tesla Girls by OMD.
Yes.
I had that in mind for the full video. I'm singing Tesla Girls in my head. And I was going to bust it out later on the thing. I would have lost all my subscribers in one go of me singing Tesla Girls on that. But anyway, Tentacles, yes. But I've got a comparison between that and the previous Blu-ray of Burial Ground. Love that film. And Tentacles is also a comparison between the Kino Loba Blu-ray. So, I don't think it's too long as well. My rough cuts of videos, if I put all my videos out as my rough cuts, you'd all be sick of your lives because they're all massive. But that wasn't too long. I think it was only about 12 minutes. And I think even the rough cut was 20 minutes, so it wasn't that bad. 20 minutes night. So, but I was really looking forward to that. But there's another, the Hitcher, obviously. And, well, actually, it's Bruce Lee, isn't it? That is the one for me. Yeah,
absolutely. I kind of forgot about Bruce Lee. Yeah, that's a massive deal.
Yeah, I'm gonna hopefully do some things with Bruce Lee. I'm gonna do a Bruce Lee ranking. Obviously, that's gonna be very easy because he's only made 4 films. But I'm gonna put a few more into that in sort of a fashion. Talk about a bit more than the 4 films. But anyway, there'll be a Bruce Lee going on. But Bruce Lee, I want to watch some Bruce Lee. I'm really salivating for it, but I can't because I've got to see the 4Ks. I'm not going to watch anything else before the 4Ks.
Fair enough.
Even though I did watch the Game of Death 2 recently, which I love. Bruce Lee's in it for about a minute. Yeah. So Brand says another great first-person shooter from the old
that's true.
N64.
Yeah, GoldenEye.
GoldenEye.
Yeah. Absolute fucking cracker.
I never had one. I never had a Nintendo.
Right.
I had a Commodore 64. I had a Mega Drive. That was my thing.
Right. Yeah, that game was a big deal. Yeah, that's
it. Bumper says you can get it on the Vinegar Syndrome partner label. The cover is wicked. Don't know what.
It must be the movies they're talking about.
Vinegar Syndrome. So you haven't had a Vinegar Syndrome title yet to actually hold yet, have you, Keith? Apart from
Roadhouse.
Yeah.
So I don't have.
The sort of slips. You haven't physically held a slip yet, basically.
No.
Apart from in Roadhouse.
And you know, I've told you the movies that I've gotten already, and one of them was Madman, and the artwork on that is just insane. But what I am going to do is, I don't even know if you've thought about doing this yet because you've done it with your Star Trek movies, but those protective cases that you got, I think I will get some for them Vinegar Syndrome releases. I definitely want to protect them.
I've put more of mine in them.
You did. Very good.
I mean, the worst thing about them is I want to have them out so I can, but I do like obviously play with them a little bit. There's some mad, you get them off, you go, ooh, and they're quite tactile. You kind of lose that when you put it in the box, but they look great in the box, and you know they're not going to get them. So it's one of those things that looks great on the shelf as well. That stack of the smaller Vinegar Syndrome ones. Wow.
Yeah. It's everything about the company just amazes me. It's one thing to get the CD effort that's going on to the packaging, which again I can't say because I haven't, but I've been told by so many people how amazing it is. But to see these movies, Madman, Ticks, all getting 4K transfers, it's whoever thought the day would ever come. It's ridiculous. It's amazing.
Yeah. I would think that. Well, I'm just so interested to see what you make of them because I've looked at them on videos and then when I actually got my first one, I thought I can't believe what this feels like, and everyone I get seems to be better than the last one.
Right? Because
I don't know how they make them. This whole heavy cord that they've got.
Right.
It's so good.
Well, I got a Joker edition. I think I told you last night. It took me months to get it. I got a Joker edition from Film Arena, and there's 3 editions in that. It's a one-click edition, and one of the editions inside it, I actually said it to Ellen. I can't bloody hold the thing. Whatever paper, it's like literally handling. It's like I felt like I was holding silk, and every single fingerprint was coming up on it, and not only coming up on it, but it was hard to get rid of it.
All right.
I'm not kidding. So I think the gloves might have to come out whenever I do a video on that Joker edition, just to handle that one.
Wow.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's I've never felt anything like it. So a couple of maybe a bit of paper gloves will be making an appearance in my channel in the near future.
You see them in the library when they're handing the books out and they've got the big white gloves and you can't touch them. It's like, in your pod and there'll be like gloves. Put your gloves on before you come in here.
It could be. That's what I could actually introduce into my videos now when it gets to the unboxing section where I can go, right, here we go.
That would be good, actually.
Yeah, I think so.
Sai says Michael Keaton steals a show. He's the best thing in the flesh.
Wow. Okay, that's great. Yeah.
I kind of would have thought that to myself.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Danny Duke is here.
Hey, Danny.
Good. Yeah. All right, Johnny. Lots of people talking about the Flash there.
People are saying quite positive things about it.
Okay, good.
Look at this one. True, like I predicted there would be toilet breaks during the live stream, and sure enough, there is one in the first 45 minutes. Well, actually, in my defense, I did say to Keith just before we went on, I thought I could go in the toilet. So I did go 45 minutes, want the toilet, so I didn't do too bad. But now you're talking about it, it's going to make me think about going again. I know I've got 50 minutes left, but I did get myself out a bottle of Peroni, 0%. And I'm thinking myself, though, do I really want to crack that open? Because if I do it on the stream, I will definitely spend the most of it and the rest in the toilet.
We're looking into buying adult diapers, so we don't have to deal with these issues.
Well, Deborah says she fits with a catheter.
And that's
that?
You know, a catheter when you in a bag, and great. And I thought, well, I think she wouldn't be. She would put it in a bit more like, you know what I mean? Oh, sorry about that.
She'll put it in with a sledgehammer.
How is it like she'll stand there with a sledgehammer, you know, and I'm lying in the bed going, should you be doing that? No, you'll be all right.
Right.
Going through some of these, I'm gonna skip a few of these. People are talking about like Cuckoo's Nest and
stuff by all means.
Talking between themselves. It's hard. It's actually hard for me because I can't see.
Sorry, go on. Keep talking there, John. I can hear you.
Yeah, I'm saying it's hard for me to actually see these movies, to see this thing, because I can't see at the best of times. But
we built a lot of love for.
What's it called? Cuckoo's Nest.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
The Flash. Nolan won the notes. Yeah. Mark, that's.
Hi, Matt. How's things?
Hey, lads. Hey, Matt.
Right.
So what seminal classic Brandon says, would you like to see on 4K? If I did a total remaster of Bonnie and Clyde.
Seminal classic. There's one movie that comes to mind. I'd like to see. I'd love to see Cannonball Run get a 4K release. Big fan of Cannonball. Actually, I'm a big fan of both movies. Actually, I think both of them are great. Yeah, I have them on Blu-ray here, and I don't know which one it is. I think it might be the second one. It's actually unwatchable. I don't know what company brought it out, but the picture is all pixelated, and it's you can't watch it.
Oh, wow.
It's juddering as well.
We got a box set with 3 of them, I think, on upstairs. I think it's
Really?
Cannonball Run. Is it? It might be actually. It's got a picture of I don't know. It's got like it's like the box set. It's got a box. It's got a car on the box.
Is that Smokey and the Bandit?
Yeah, Smokey and the Bandit. Isn't
Smokey
it?
and the Bandit. Yeah, I think that's the same one. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, it's easy to get them two mixed up, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's funny enough. A seminal classic. There you go. We mentioned The Hitcher as well, which is going to happen.
Yeah,
it is. Thank God. And there's so many though.
To see the what's it called? Well, the ones that haven't been released by Stanley Kubrick on 4K, Lolita, and there's another one as well. I would just like all them to go on 4K. Barry Lyndon. Oh, Barry Lyndon 4K. That's my
yeah,
unbelievable.
Yeah. Big Trouble in Little
Just
China.
looking here. Yes. Oh yes, because that looks amazing on them. Well, as you know, I didn't like that one bit when I saw it a few times.
Absolutely.
And I think I was talking to you about it, and I thought I'm going to give it one more shot, and I absolutely loved it. And the Arrow version looks unreal. So yeah, that's a definite for me.
That's a great one. That'd be a great one.
So there's actually, I'm looking on here. I didn't know this. On my videos, it says here live and all that, and it says starred as well. Now, I didn't know what that was, but it's got starred one. It's been there for a bit, but it's came up here now, and it's this one. So I thank Bedo for that. My favorite physical media Muppets. No, thanks a lot for that. That's amazing. And actually, when I saw that, now I know I've seen that. I can look at that now, rather than not looking at it. I didn't know what that was actually.
Absolutely.
If I'm honest, but that's really good.
Fair play, Tom. So
that was from 7:30. Hope you haven't. I'm sorry about taking too long to get to it, but that's amazing. That really is.
But like it's one of those things. I hope people understand that. It's one of those things. I do hope people understand that. Like, if we just sat here and we give three word answers to each question, it'll be absolutely boring to look at. We have to spend a certain amount of time on each question, and unfortunately, when you're as popular as yourself, the comments can come in thick and fast. So we'll try our best.
And it's I mean, this is one of I'm trying to go through them as pragmatically as possible, without missing. I'm trying to the proper questions. I'm trying, and if I miss somebody, I apologize for that. But it's great to get these comments that lead down, sort of chat about certain things which you never would have chatted about, and it's great to have that. And there's a load of people in here as well. So that's another. Well, it's it's great that people will come along, and this stream wasn't known for quite a while, was it? Because it was a last minute kind of thing.
It was. Normally our streams are well planned ahead, but this one just happened in less than a week, probably.
I think it was even less than that, if I'm honest.
And, thanks a lot, Philo Bedo. Great name. Tom says, I believe Disney are trying to monopolize the physical and streaming media so they can stop all physical sales and stick streaming. I wouldn't be surprised,
Yeah.
I don't mind if a company, say Arrow or Radiance or 101, they want to make a bit of money. I mean, it's obvious that people want to do that. When somebody is obviously as big as Disney and they just want that little bit more for the sake of other things, I don't think that's good.
No.
Everything should be allowed to exist in this universe.
Yeah.
Gordon says, talking of all the movies, getting a 4K, one of my favourite ones would be The Stand Peebles. Have you heard that one?
No, I've never heard. That's the first to me as well.
No. Gungshi says, I would love to see the Val Newton RKO film, CG Cat People. I Walk with a Zombie, brilliant film. Released on 4K, I think it will look great on that format, like the old Universal horror films. Yes, if I'm honest. I forget all about them. It was so good.
The old Universal horror movies that came out, the old monster classics that came out on 4K, they all come out in these lovely steelbooks, and I'm waiting just to get them at the right price. Amazon Italy are selling them at the moment, and I'm hoping to get them. I think it's 4, isn't it? 4 altogether.
4 at the minute, yeah.
4
There's
at the minute,
8. There's 4.
Yeah.
2 thingies, but there's 4 in steelbooks.
Yeah, right. Okay, I'd love to get them. I would love to.
But it's funny because the kind of cat people in I Walk the Zombie are from that period as well. The star like Bela Lugosi stars in I Walk the Zombie and probably in Cat People. They're all really good films. Hardly get talked about, but there should be more wide. I think Universal horror tends to go for Frankenstein and Dracula.
Yeah,
ones are equally as good in their own way. And that's a good call. To be honest, I've forgotten all about them until you mentioned them. But yeah, good ones.
So
Macchat says, just watched it the other night. Now, I'm not into geophysicist, but I'm not sure the film is a good representation of gravity. Apparently, the next one is called Phase 10 Part 2, Genius. Yeah, have you seen them when they're on the looking at the book? Gravity, what does that mean? You know, have you seen them on the dam? The dam's like that, and he's driving up the dam or driving down the dam and sticking to the wall of the dam. My God.
I think when someone told, because I've stopped watching the movies. I think when someone said to me that they were in space in the last movie, I was like, yeah, that's me done with that franchise.
Yeah. Tom says we've had some great, fantastic movie legends over the decades. In your opinion, is a legend for the future?
Oh, that's what a great question. Oh my goodness. You know, one comes to mind. One comes to mind, and I forgot his name. Oh my God, it's slipped. It's gone out of my bloody head. He's in Oppenheimer.
Is it the Irish fella?
Yeah. Cillian Murphy. I think that he's just a legend in the making. If he's not one already, he's just so reliable. I can't think of a bad movie that I've seen by him. And you know, I know people will be looking towards the likes of Leonardo DiCaprio and the usuals, but I think he is highly underrated. No one ever talks about him. And in my eyes, he's already a legend. I think he's phenomenal, and I can't wait to see where he's going to go from there here on.
Yeah, that's a good point actually, because he has made some really good career choices.
Absolutely,
he hasn't really made like a movie it's like a turkey. If I'm honest, they've all been watchable. No,
well, like look, he's in a lot of Christopher Nolan movies, and there must be something about you. If you're in a Christopher Nolan movie, you must have some certain amount of talent. So, yeah, there's something about him. I only watched that movie with him there a couple of weeks back. Red Eye, the Wes Craven movie, unbelievable in the movie, absolutely incredible, so unbelievably charming in the movie, and then like that, he just puts this face on, and he turns so quickly. He could be terrifying to look at. He's such a phenomenal actor, and yeah, I can't wait to see that Oppenheimer.
I would go and watch that. I seen the trailer at the cinema and it looked really good, actually.
Yeah. Like they recreate the nuclear explosion.
Yeah.
How the hell, without using CGI, they recreate the nuclear explosion? Okay.
Well, it's Christopher Nolan. He's capable of many things, really.
Unbelievable.
I'll tell you, one I'm thinking of is Stephen Graham. I think he's I don't know if he's one of these ones that we considered anything other than what he is, like a TV. But he's made some great movies. Everything he does is unreal. But will he be in the same? Will they talk about him enough? Because he's not really. He is a movie star, but he's not really a movie star. He's phenomenal.
Yeah. There's so many out there at the moment. There's so many.
But you know how I had this whole like Arnie, Sylvester Stallone, Dolph Lundgren, all at the same time, and even Steven Seagal early on, and you had all these people who are like Bruce Willis. You don't really seem to have a big cluster of them anymore, do you?
No. Yeah, the action stars seem to be dying away, aren't they? One would say The Rock is that Dwayne Johnson is probably the last. But having said that, I can't think of a movie where I turn around and I seen him in a movie and I went, "Wow, this movie is extraordinary. This is phenomenal. Something I've never seen before." Like, he's just not there for me. He's too consistent. So the action stars, funny enough, are probably Tom Cruise and Keanu Reeves at the moment.
Yeah.
Amazingly enough.
It's but your whole action star isn't really there. Clint Eastwood, when he was on his top of his game, he was kind of like in all action films. He's still a great actor, but he doesn't really. Obviously, he's too old. But there's no real Clint Eastwood now, is there?
No. There will never be another Clint Eastwood. Let's face it.
No, you're right. One of a kind, actually.
Yeah.
Gary Smith, talking to Bruce Lee, what do you think of dragging the Bruce Lee story? I thought Jason Lee didn't look much like Lee. No, he didn't. But boy, his acting was awesome in that movie. Yeah. You seen that one at all?
I loved it. Makes sense of that, if you will. Yeah, it makes sense of it. I've never seen a Bruce Lee movie, but yeah, I've seen that movie and I thought it was incredible.
It's a great movie. It plays a little bit on the story. Hollywoodizes a bit for me, but it's still a good movie. But he could have looked a little bit more like him, if I'm honest.
Yeah,
because people who do look like him.
Yeah.
Bummer says Barry Gordon's The Last Dragon is coming to 4K soon. It's a martial arts fantasy kung fu comedy from the 80s, and it's superb.
Never heard of it.
I should know that one, but I don't think I do. Have you heard of that one, Keith?
No, that's a first for me. I never heard of it. But again, you know me, a martial arts, John.
Yeah, it's a great. If you ever get into it, I'm not saying you should go and get into it, but if you do get into it, there's a lot of good stuff in there that I think you would appreciate. It that doesn't really center on kung fu.
Well, there's two movies that we spoke about last night. You're sending me something, and if that doesn't do it, and if Enter the Dragon doesn't do it for me, then it's going to be a lost cause, unfortunately. But I'm open. I want to get into this genre, but I will have to wait and see. I'm going to start with the best.
I think it's one of those ones where if you saw really like a heavy duty martial arts movie, maybe even like one of these really bad martial arts, they put you off completely.
Right.
Because there's some preposterous ones out there. But if you saw some good martial arts and just went with it, I think you would. I think it's like every time you don't show someone like a heavy horror, you put them in with a bit of light stuff first and just you navigate your way through. So I would like to think that you could, maybe try it, dip your toes in the water and go on the sort of light side of it.
Absolutely.
Cheekster says Ang Lee's making a Bruce Lee biopic movie and starring his own son as Bruce Lee. Yes, that's correct.
Wow, okay, that's interesting.
Oh.
So Gary says
Starman's score is very emotional. It's a beautiful piece of music, he says.
Yeah, it's I'm not gonna dwell on it too much because it'll get me going.
Alexander says, John, you have a list on your phone of the films you've watched. I have my movie watching journal. I'm now into my second volume. The first one is 199 films logged. Actually, the one that's bigger than that is what I've actually bought. I write down everything I bought for the last 5 years. I've written things. So I've got my watch ones, but I've got my actual media ones bought. So this year, you can see that this is what I bought this year.
Oh.
Actually, it looks really long, doesn't
it? Yeah, because it is long. That's why.
Yeah. So obviously, I tot all the money up on there as well.
Oh.
So I didn't show that one to Deborah. She didn't hear that one, I hope. I tell you what, when you look back and you look at the total price, you just think, my God.
Yeah, like I said to you last night, I have 2 media books coming for Halloween 2 and 3, and both of them it cost me €94 for the 2 of them. You know me and Halloween.
It's not a cheap game.
Yeah, I can't say no to Halloween.
No, you can't. You can't have a thing, a franchise like that, and you can't leave ones out.
No,
be wrong.
No, yeah. Definitely not.
The bumper says the end of Blow is a right tearjerker.
I've not seen it.
Gary Lynch, I fully recommend The Pressure, Digging the Abyss documentary. It shows how much time went into the resuscitation scene. Crazy stuff. I think I've seen that.
Wow. Wow, I need to check that out.
Mark Chat says, I've been continuing my Section 3 quest and just finished Carnival of Blood, 1970. At just under 90 minutes, it felt like 6 hours. Oh, wow.
That's good. Not a good thing for that one.
Oh, definitely not.
And Brandon agrees with it. Compton Star is indeed a great film. Beautifully touching score.
Yeah, yeah.
So Backyard Pick says, it was fun to hear you guys chat about movies. Hope you have a nice summer. It's very hot. It's been hot here in Sweden. Wow. Yeah, it's really warm at the minute. Really warm. So how's yours, Keith, at the minute? Is it cooler?
We're going through a nice little spell at the moment where it's been kind to us in the last 2 or 3 days, but 3 weeks prior to them 3 days, it's been consistently warm, consistently hot, and I don't do well in heat, if I'm completely honest. But I'm kind of coping better with it this year than most years.
Yeah, I wasn't even thinking it was going to be warm this year because it's been so cold for all of the year until now. It's making up for it now. So Gary Lynn says, Keith, have you been able to watch Martyrs yet?
No. I've been told to stay away from that movie. It's a rough watch.
I enjoyed it, actually. It's brutal.
Really?
Very brutal. Yeah.
Right. Someone gave me a DVD. A friend of mine gave it to me, a DVD of it there years ago. And he gave it to me, but then he turned around and he said, the same breath, don't look at it. And I was like, why the hell are you giving it to me for then? So I do have it. I have it in the house somewhere.
Yeah. It's like a movie of 2 halves. The second half is completely different to the first half. But the first half is more like a home invasion movie. Yeah, I tell you what, some of the things that happen in that really brutal. Very brutal.
Right.
To the point of you thinking, when someone's getting something done to them, you think, well, a bit like not as bad as Terrifier 2, but when it goes on a bit and you think, oh, there's not any more to this bit, and another bit happens, you think, wow.
Yeah.
But, it was good though. I really enjoyed it.
Okay.
So Bunker says, I don't understand region lot in this day and age. In this modern age, surely if you sell a movie, you have a wider market. You would think.
Nobody's a fan of locking. I didn't think that was the thing.
Well, no, having said that, I would love to see some sort of executive come out and explain what it's all about. Why does it happen? It shouldn't happen, but I would love some sort of explanation behind it. Because
you never get it, do you?
No, you never do.
I'll tell you what, Keith, I'm just about to take a second trip, which isn't too bad. You see, that's the thing. If we've done like an 8-hour stream, I've been in the toilet for the last 2 hours. So I'm going to take my second trip, hopefully my last trip, to the lavatory. So Steve Charlton says, I finally got around to watching Absurd on Blu-ray. Great transfer. Oh, and Cannibal Holocaust. I know it's a bit of a...
I'm not easy with that one. You're right with that one, mate.
So I'll leave you with that one, Keith.
No problem at all.
Responses from Brandon, John and Keith. Indeed, sadly, Romero in the 90s and 2000s wasn't. Something was a different filmmaker. He left his native Pittsburgh here in the United States for Toronto, California. I didn't realize that, actually. Just going to try if you want to talk about his later films.
Yeah, well, I think about George Romero, he's a bit like, in a weird way, he's a bit like John Carpenter. He just started slipping in the later part of his career. But having said that, I am a huge, huge fan of Land of the Dead. I think it's a wonderful movie. Wasn't too crazy about Survival or Diary. But having said that, the last time I seen Diary, I do remember enjoying it somewhat. But again, I'm one of these people that can look at, I never compare. People like, for instance, the new Indiana Jones movie, people are kind of looking at, the latest one now and wondering, will it ever be as good as the original 3? I never go into these. That's not my mindset. I never go into these things thinking that way. And like I said, Land of the Dead, I thought had a wonderful cast. I wasn't too crazy that they went down the CGI route instead of sticking to the practical, which looks far more convincing. But I did enjoy Land. Diary, he tried something a bit different with the sound, the kind of found footage aspect of it. And I actually thought it wasn't too bad. But Survival of the Dead now was a very, very poor attempt. And it was such a sad way for him to end his career with that movie. There was rumors going around that we were going to get one more Dead movie. I think it was called Road of the Dead or something like that. And it's a shame we never got it. I think there was a writer or a friend of George Romero that was trying everything to get that movie made after his death, but it never happened. But yeah, it's sad that Survival was his last movie.
Yeah,
it was actually good.
I found that when I was watching his last 3 movies, this sort of went down in quality. From Land of the Dead was pretty good. It went like that, didn't it? So, Mark Chat says, question, lads, not big on importing from the States and different regions. Bugged me, having to change the settings on the players, etc. Are the Halloween films on Europe Blu-rays good transfers? You'd be good for this, Keith.
Oh, I'm the right man for that. Well, my good friend, I can really help you out, because if you go on to Amazon Germany, they are actually selling Halloween 2 and 3 on 4K, so you don't have to go near America to get them. And like I said, I have both of them coming now tomorrow through the door. So you can get the first 3 anyway on 4K. Now, Halloween 4 and 5 on Blu-ray, they look horrible. They look terrible. They got marked improvements, night and day improvements over on the 4K releases. So if you desperately want your Halloween collection, unfortunately, you are going to have to start, delve into the American market, particularly for Part 4 and 5. 6 on Blu-ray, I think, looked half decent. H20 looked deplorable on Blu-ray as well. Another marked improvement. And Resurrection, I didn't even look at, to be honest. Yeah, it's one of the movies that I just can't watch. But yeah, if you want the best out there, you will have to look towards the States, unfortunately.
Yeah, I know that you know a lot more than that about than me, but I know that Halloween can have some really bad transfers as well as good transfers in their collection. It's not a given. I mean, all the Carpenter movies look amazing because it's Carpenter, but the rest of them do kind of tail off from that look.
But never mind picture quality, but even every single one of them, just to the audio, every single one of them are marked improvements over every single Blu-ray, and that's including Halloween and Halloween 2 and 3 as well. As good as they look on Blu-ray, which they do look fantastic on Blu-ray, but the audio is somewhat letting them down, particularly parts 2 and 3. So you're getting marked improvements in terms of audio on 4K.
Yeah. Well, I agree with the American ones that they're brilliant, and they are the best, aren't they?
They are the best. I'm quite curious. I'm curious to see when I get free tomorrow. I'm curious to see, are they going to be the same transfers? I think they could be different. I don't know. So I will have to wait and see. But there will be videos done on them.
Oh yes, I'll be interested to see what they're like. Right, my comments just went up crazy there, but Bolton said it still hurts. I'm guessing.
That's a no-brainer.
Yeah, just trying to make comments.
I wasn't even touching it. I went mad. Usually when I touch it, they go a bit odd.
What's that?
And usually I'm touching it, they go mad. But I'm just sitting like that, and then they just went whoop, blank screen, and you think, thanks for that.
Actually, maybe they did this because of this.
Oh, isn't that just incredible?
Sean Sheridan.
That's unbelievable, wow. Sean.
Do you like Man of Steel, and thoughts on James Gunn resetting the DCEU? How many movies do you both own roughly?
Well, the first thing, Sean, that's incredibly generous of you. Fair play to you for sending that John's way. Exactly. Man of Steel was good-ish. It was okay. It wasn't terrible. It was a decent little trilogy. That's Snyderverse, that trilogy that they were doing. It's a shame that we won't get a conclusion on it, unfortunately. It would have been nice where to go. As for James Gunn, I honestly couldn't care, to be honest. I don't think he's I think we're starting to see the death of superhero movies at the moment. I think they are starting to die. I think Marvel are struggling at the box office. I know Guardians of the Galaxy done very well in the box office, but Ant-Man flopped. And I think that every DC movie that's come out this year has flopped as well. That Shazam last movie absolutely dive-bombed.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you're right.
We're not getting another Black Adam movie because apparently that movie flopped as well. Flash is heading the exact same route as well. So, yeah, I think for me, I think they need to take a break. They need to take a long, long break and ditch all this TV series bullshit as well, because they're flooding the market and people are sick of it and that. So, as for my movies, I brought this up. I don't know if I told you that I done Andy over Electric Geek.
Yeah,
done a video on me. Done a video kind of dedicated to me, and when I told him my number, he was quite shocked. So I want to look into it a bit more, just to get a bit more of an accurate, if I can get an accurate number to it. Now I couldn't do it perfectly, but I have an idea. So it's around. I'm getting close to around 9,000. Now that's factoring in my VHS collection as well. That's factoring in my VHS collection. That is. So wow. It's quite sizable.
Actually, I'm shocked by that. I am shocked because I know you've got loads, but I always tend to think that I know you've got, and I saw your collection when it was in the other room, and it seemed to be larger because they had like it was everywhere. This one's smaller, but it's kind of dedicated. But when you put the two of them together, and you obviously factor in your VHS because you don't get rid of anything. Yeah.
No. It's so I have everything on my apps. I have all my Blu-rays and my 4Ks on an app, and the count on that at the moment is just about to hit 5,000 between Blu-ray and 4K. And I know for an absolute fact that I have well over 2,000 DVDs, and it's just the VHS upstairs. There's a lot up there, but I'm not sure how much. So it's getting close to 9.
Wow.
So
10,000 around the corner. You'll have to get your skates on and get that 10K hit.
there you go. So yeah, I have a large collection. But again, wow. I have to also put this in the video as well. This is spanning over close to 50 years, So
yeah, you're right. Actually, it's not as if, and plus it's. I think most of it have not done what you've done. We've kind of got rid of stuff. And I got rid of loads of VHS. If I had my VHS and put them, but if I hadn't got rid of everything, I'll probably be around about the same mark. Because when I think about the stuff I got rid of, wow.
Well, I keep saying to people that I don't get rid of anything. Well, I do in a way, because I like giving movies to people like yourself. But I like, the only way I'll give them away is to give them to fellow collectors. I would never go to CX or sell them or anything like that.
Right,
I would never put it that way. I'd rather give them away as gifts. So,
fair enough.
Yeah.
I did sell a lot of mine, but I probably would have got a lot more for them if I had kept them now. You know what I mean? You wouldn't have thought of it because you thought I was going to get out when the going was good before it took a nosedive. And it did. After I sold them, I would have got nothing for them. I got a fair price for them, but now I could have got 10 times more than
Yeah.
So and I would have collector's items, had a Reservoir Dogs, with all the booklets and all that, and the glasses and stuff. And that was amazing. Said that, I just probably sold that for a tenner or something. Which I think, my God. But I would say that yes, I like Man of Steel. Me, John, Paul, and Matthew went to see that at the Pictures. The three were. So that was a good experience. Really enjoyed it. James Gunn resetting. I'd like to see them do something really good and different with it. Is that possible these days? But I do agree with Keith. I think, unfortunately, they've done too much with. Realised that superheroes was a really good thing. So what they've done is they've milked it and they're sticking people with it. So they want to take a step back. And if they do start resetting it and make it, they want to feed it out slowly, not 3 and 5 movies a year. It's just ridiculous, man. You know what I mean? So also, I would say my movies that I own, if I had to put them all out, include my VHS, which isn't a massive amount, actually. I'm going to say it's going to be around about 4,000. That's tops. It's probably less than that, but about 4,000.
Wow. Can you break that down anyway at all, do you think, in terms of 4K, Blu-ray, DVD?
Blu-ray is the most. I own the most on Blu-ray. Okay. DVD, on quite a few actually, but I've just put them all into this big cases. I haven't put them in the bed, so they're there, but they're not gotten rid of. But they're not on the shelves. 4K would be, I reckon, about over 200 4Ks, I think, or thereabouts.
Right. Oh, I thought you would have been higher.
I might be higher. I haven't counted them for a long time, so I don't really know. But I'm going to say a ballpark figure. I have done a video a while ago. I counted the whole lot, at all the figures, and I never put the videos. Now that video would be totally redundant, so I'm going to have to go back and redo that video. But I will put one out to say this is what I've got, and it's going to be this or that, and that's, so
yeah,
it's time consuming, that one.
Absolutely. That's what the app that I use, I can't actually remember what the app is, but you have to scan the barcodes on each movie and then it'll go to it. Now, unfortunately, when I tried to do it with the DVDs, when I was scanning the barcodes, a lot of them weren't coming up. So you actually have to individually put them in. And I got around maybe halfway through my A's on DVD, and I gave up. I couldn't do it anymore.
No,
It was just killing me.
That would do me in, and also
it's not unbelievable, isn't it?
There you go. You have a Guinness on that one. A Guinness book. Yeah, actually, it is 9,000. It's a big amount. That's a large amount. In fact, I don't know people who've got over 10,000. Well, I know there's a few people, but it's usually a lot. It's usually, I'm going to say, about the 7,000 is usually the tops that you hear.
Yeah, well, like I seen the list that you put there, that what you bought this year. I guarantee you, if I'd done a similar list, I would probably not even have done half of what you've done, because I'm just going through this phase where I am fixated a bit more on the rare sides the rarer side of collecting, and so I've kind of fallen behind on, like, I can't even remember the last time I bought a Blu-ray. It's been a long time since I bought a Blu-ray. So I am thinking about maybe taking a break from all of that now and start to catch up on some of the movies that I've missed.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Fair comment, actually, and Sean, this is so generous of you.
Yeah,
you do appreciate this. Thoughts on Titanic, 1997?
That's amazing. I'm actually going through a mad run of Titanic at the moment. I'm looking at a lot of documentaries on it. I don't know if you've seen that. Did you see that new thing that came out with they showed the 3D pictures of the wreck, and they put it in the stadium, the West Ham Stadium, I think they did.
Yeah.
It was the most extraordinary thing I ever seen. The movie itself it's a movie of two halves for me. I'm there to see the Titanic side. I'm not really interested in the romantic side of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, it's not horrible. And I get that you have to build character. But I think James Cameron kind of said, I think when he went into, I think it was the presentation to make that movie, get that movie made or green lit, he basically turned around and he said Shakespeare in love on the Titanic. And they instantly loved that idea. So for me, I prefer the kind of the sinking side, the ship side of it, than anything else.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I do agree with what you're saying on that. I think that for me, I love the film. Watchers of Titanic stuff. And have you seen the one that they've said, because when you see they've mapped the whole ship, you can see the whole ship one go now, which you couldn't see before. It's literally as if it was standing looking at it. They're saying, that they say that the bow, or is it the bow at the front? It got ripped all the way through. That's how the waterhead, the waterside bulkheads went. So it went for 8 sections. When you look on the map of it, there's no split on the side.
Yeah.
So I think their theory is that it went across and it's caught the iceberg being there, but it's had a little thing sticking out of it. And it's went and it's got the whole bottom of the ship. And on the bottom of the ship, not the side of it.
Right. Okay. Wow.
Look at it. There's a video on there, and it's really clever how it makes perfect sense, because when you're looking at the scene, we can see the bottom of the ship, the side of the ship, it's got no split in it.
Yeah, I think this is going to help them a lot. They reckon that they're going to, every secret that the Titanic is hiding, they reckon now they're going to be able to uncover it now because of all of this. And I think that whenever they get if they finally do get their answers, I wish they would just leave it alone. And the wreck is already badly deteriorated, and it could only be getting worse by them coming down, messing around with it. Right. So I wish we just leave it alone now.
It's definitely going to fall to bits. I reckon the next 10 years is going to be just like a thing of mud. Unfortunately, what a my lieutenant says, I thought Escape from LA was a sequel to Escape from New York. Yes, you're right, sir. But when I said you are making a sequel to Escape from LA, well, I suppose you could say that, isn't it? But it doesn't sound that good, does it, when you say, people go, so what? But if you say Escape from New York, you go, oh, yeah. That's so we've got 5 minutes left. And who's been talking on this stream and who have been so generous as well. I want to thank Sean Sheridan for those really generous gifts, and also as well to Phil Obedo as well for this generous thing. This is the most I've ever received on the stream. It's so it's mad.
That's incredibly generous.
It is, and no, it's been brilliant. And unfortunately, it is going to be coming to an end, and I'm really not going to get through these comments, as you know. Well, I hope everyone's had a good time talking to each other on the comments.
Yeah, I was going to say the last number I told you, the comment section was 140, maybe 135, 140.
Yeah,
it's just 13 shy of 300. So,
right. Well, for the last 5 minutes, I've got a lot of apologising to do.
Yeah, even if we were on for the next 2 or 3 hours, I don't think we'd get through them.
No, that's it.
That's why these ones do go to that length of time, because you do try and get through the comments. I know that when we were last on the streams we used to do, especially yourself, Keith, you always want to get the end of the comments, and it's an art form actually.
Yeah.
But I hope I've said enough to, to like not be not ignoring anybody. That's what I'm trying to say.
What I'm going to do is when the stream is over and all that, later on I might go on, and rest assured I will read. Even though I can't answer them, I will read everything that everyone wrote down. So at least that's something.
Yeah, I will do the same.
Yeah,
and that's actually just good. In that promise, if there's anything on there that's a really good comment that we've went past, I will mention it in the video. And
yes,
I'll tell Keith about them as well. I'm not probably going to talk about it, and that maybe say Keith said this about that, because it's a great thing to receive so many people on a stream, and actually these comments.
Absolutely,
comments that was.
It's insane. I was keeping an eye on it, and I was like, wow, it's just not happening. I knew right from the start that there was no way we were ever getting through them. It didn't take long to get to 100, so it's I kind of
look, actually, when you thought about like where they are at the bottom, I was frightened actually to look to see how many I needed to catch up on, but
the weird thing is,
obviously,
you never want to disappoint anybody. I think we just have to be somewhat realistic, and there's just no way we were going to get through them. I would love to be able to, but like I said to you, if I start giving very generic answers to questions, then it just wouldn't be particularly entertaining to watch. So you have to spend a certain amount of time on each question.
So maybe next time, if excuse me, if you want to get like a burning question in, like a really big question that you really want to know, put that in first. If you say hello and then put that on there.
Absolutely.
It may be a better way for us to see it quicker, the big question, yeah, if that makes sense.
Even even if you actually kind of wrote in kind of capital letters, the whole thing, then maybe you can actually see it when you're scrolling through it, and then you go, this is a big one here, so
Yeah, well, good. I mean, it's just so, like I say, apologies for not getting through everybody, but it was inevitable that it would happen. And I want to thank everybody who I've spoken to, and everyone who's commented, and obviously everybody who I haven't got to. Thanks so much for everything, for making this a great stream to come back on, I find. Even though I can hear the audio being a little bit crazy, which I don't understand. Can you hear something going on there, Keith?
You know what? It's actually massively cleared up. Typical when we're coming to the end of it. But that's why I thought you were pressing something. It sounded like every time the audio kind of cut out a little bit, it seemed like you were pressing something on the keyboard. But then when you tried it, when I said it to you, nothing happened. So I don't know what it was.
Yeah. I don't know, like I say, with this one, what I might do with the next one is I might get my new laptop. I might try it on there.
Yeah.
That might have a better, I don't know if it's the connection to the internet's not as good. The doors are shut now because Deborah's talking to my mum. So maybe that's got something to do with it. But, there's nothing there's nothing I can do unless I get the router, put the router here. Sit the router in my hand.
I know, the whole way through the stream.
Yeah, right in my head.
Yeah. But I knew, like I said, we said earlier on in the stream there, we were talking about 3 hours. Like, rest assured, it felt like we started the stream 5 minutes ago. It's lunatic. It's ridiculous.
3 hours seems like 3 minutes. It's mad.
It's crazy.
And obviously, you get to hear and you think, we could really do this for another 3 hours, but then we'd have to pay for it next month. That's what we're trying to avoid. We're trying to get through this and thinking, that was great. We can do this to a certain extent. So it means we'll come back quicker with this.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And very quickly on the last thing, the new Video Nasties live stream will be on at the end of the month. It'll be on the 27th, and again that'll be a shorter stream. It won't be a long one. So hopefully we'll get through as many as we can with the viewers, and that'll be me, Nige, then. But I never know. I might try and squeeze another live stream in the middle of that, another short one anyway, maybe, possibly. And hopefully it will be another 18 months for us to talk to each other.
No, absolutely not. I'll make sure anyway that the one for Halloween will definitely happen anyway. So, so it'll only be a couple of months away.
Yeah. So this is got a lot of people signing off and saying thanks to Cheekster and Sinjin and Ballot Tenant. So I just want to say thanks to everyone, Brandon as well. So brilliant. And so actually we're a minute over. Oh no, I can't believe it. What am I going to do? I'm not going to sleep now.
We may as well stay on now. We're seeing we're going to pass a minute.
Well, we're rounded off to 9 hours. All right. So thanks once again, everybody, and thanks Keith for coming back and being me oppo on this one.
Absolutely,
really appreciate that.
My pleasure, John. It's always I always look forward to it. So
great, brilliant. Okay, so thanks once again, and we will see you pretty soon. Okay, so thanks everybody.
All the best.
No, bye now. See ya. Don't know how to end it now, do I? Right, this time.
Do that
twice though. That's what I don't understand. My apologies. 9 hours, be 7 hours to switch it off. Okay. Next, right. This time. See everybody. Bye now.